trap workout. All right, let's kick this bitch off.
Didn't we kick it off?
No, we didn't.
Okay, that's
No,
we were rolling this kicked off.
Anyway, so let's do it. Howdy, welcome to this week's episode of Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. My name is JT. You can call me Vico the Bearded One for long. And as always, I am joined by his bouginess, Alex the Jarl Martinez. Man, that was a long fucking way.
I like how you went right into the radio voice too.
It was weird. It's just like this fucking relapse. Like I've done like 40-ish episodes of this.
Ish? Oh, this is number 50.
Dude, this is a climax. Like the climax.
Yeah, it's
I don't know
very
where to fucking put this. Is it too far?
Yeah.
Can you hear? Yeah, okay, whatever. It's fine.
I can hear you fine. But yeah, this is number 50. This is like
This is it. This is
kinda,
a fucking
it kind of wound up in a funny perfect spot.
Dude, we got so much shit to talk about today.
So much.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna give you a real quick highlight of what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about this last fucking week. And then we'll jump into some like men's mental health. And then past that, we got I think it's gonna be a lot of fun conversation on our paranormal shit. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Because the Florida man references will come out in fucking thick as thieves. Shittiest apocalypse ever. Bath salts for days.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
It's a semicircle.
I mean, yeah, it's just a tip. Foreskinning. So, dude, we had a fucking epic week, man.
We got to hang out a lot.
Did we? I feel like, we
actually... we hung out for like 10 minutes for like 4 days.
My right arm and your left arm were fucking like neck and neck with fucking becoming bulky as fuck.
Right. Like, and we weren't even like doing the stranger.
Mm-mm.
Or the Dutch rudder. The Dutch rudder. We weren't even Dutch ruddering. Yeah.
It was fucking great, man. So for anybody who doesn't know, because you haven't been on social media, which I admire you for, but if you're listening to us and only listen to us, I'm a little concerned. We fucking had our grand opening, guys. I had a fucking wave of emotions, and I still haven't worked through them yet.
A wave, yeah. You got a little choked up a couple times.
Dude,
There's a lot of emotional energy stored up in the bearded one.
Yeah, man, I haven't even let it out yet either. I'm just still in shock. It doesn't feel real. We had our grand opening, and we had. Let's talk through it real quick. So, you guys rolled up on Thursday. And I was like, we have work to do. And we got there, we started fucking bottling what we had.
I don't even remember what the fuck we did on Thursday.
It was a game plan that night, Thursday night. You guys came in, you guys saw the meadery. All of a sudden you're like, this building is even smaller than I remember it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
A lot of shit going on in that building right now.
Unloaded all the tubs.
Unloaded all the tubs. We did we had the team meeting beforehand where we had like the rah-rah speech from everybody. And then showed up the next morning at fucking like 8:30 and finally had all of our bottles that showed up 5 days later than they're supposed to, or 4 days or whatever it was. And we knocked out 1,000 bottles that day.
We did it the bearded Viking way.
We fucking did, dude.
There was no bottles.
And then there was bottles.
And then there was bottles aplenty.
Yeah. And we had just fucking all hands on deck. And yeah, it worked. Like, that was probably the smoothest grand opening outside of the bottling issue that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but nobody knew that there was a bottling issue.
No, because we fucking rallied.
We were able to rally enough bottles. Yeah, we pumped enough out that nobody had any idea there was a bottling issue.
Yeah, we had all the ladies up front, freaking rolling, racking, freaking heat shrinking, plus Nathan.
Yes,
he was up there fucking like he was final quality control while they were just rolling through them.
He was like the Walking Dead heat shrinking. He's just like falling asleep with the heat shrink gun in his hand.
Yeah, man, he was just like shrink, go, go, go. And I mean, it was fucking epic, man. Opening day, we had over 650 people come through our doors. 700-ish, probably maybe
I
even
think it's
8.
closer to 700. Based off my email.
Yeah, dude.
And all tickets purchased.
And then we had the next day we had about between 80 and 100, and then on Sunday after you guys left, it rained, and we still had about 50 come through the door. And hung out outside in the fucking Tentalonis.
Yeah, the rain did not do us any favors.
That's fine. It did us favors in the long run by hopefully keeping the fires away for at least a week.
A week. Well,
a week.
That's that would be Montana helping Montana, not helping us per se.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't want to work in the smoke shack. I'd rather work in the mead shack. Mead shack, baby.
Just hang some meat.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a meat shack because they always think we're talking about meat anyway.
And then everybody's gonna get so fucking confused, and I just don't want to do it.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. Check these out, by the way, for all the viewers. I know that you got yours behind you there.
The girls, the lovely ladies.
Bottle 1 of 1 official. So you got a handwritten one from wherever the hell you got a handwritten one from. Not that I know anybody who bootlegged it before. Yeah, you should probably just keep those. I don't actually want you to drink them because it's probably fire. Not fire in the good way, the way the kids say it, but like fire, like we were talking about, fire on fire on fire on fire.
Yeah, I got my last handwritten one. My tester up there. I think it's like 111. Yeah, it's 111.
Yeah, wow.
Of the tester.
I would say that the alcohol has come a long way.
I would definitely agree, especially after tasting it after being up there. It's actually better in the big vats even than the smaller ones, which I was definitely not expecting. I was expecting it to be like more ethanol-y, but I was pleasantly surprised. I think that you definitely did a good job. Yeah, definitely get more of the honey taste. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was I knew that it was going to work. I just didn't know it was going to work that well, and I'm not mad about it.
That was another like trial and error thing too, right?
I mean, it was trial and error throughout the past like 5 years. 4 years.
I just mean like doing it in the vats, right? Like goose, our goose could have been cooked if it didn't go right.
Yeah, it was weird, like the culmination of things going right after so many things going wrong, man. It was fucking crazy. Right. It was crazy. It was fun. So yeah, dude, we had a lot of fun. And then let's see here. Some cool things happened. We had the bonfire afterwards. And that was a fucking, I don't know how many bonfires you've been to, but that was my second one.
That was your second bonfire?
Ever. To the same place.
We have so much stuff to burn.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was kind of like, it was I don't know, man. Like the whole weekend was just pure magic in my mind. Like the shit you think about when you're a kid, when you think about Santa Claus, like the correlation from Santa Claus, like magic. And like how hard we worked through everything to get there. How much we learned along the way, and then the final culmination of that was the bonfire. The bonfire.
It was pretty hectic.
Yeah,
it was pretty hectic, but big kudos and shout out to everybody. I told them this when we were there in person, but I've never been in a place where people just even in the Marine Corps, you know, never been in a place where people just see a job that needs to be done and just start doing it. And I think that 100% the best of kind of that veteran experience, it shone through, because for every working party that we weren't supposed to be on, that we were on, that we didn't do shit on or tried to get out of, it was the exact opposite. Like people were just picking up shit and doing jobs that they had never fucking done before, asked for direction, took direction, and then now are, you know, experts at that job, right? And
it was awesome, man. It was great to not just be a Lance Corporal, but it was like everybody was even playing field. Like, you know, I got to give a shout out to the boat, man. I was wrapping up stuff outside. I was gonna come inside and fucking mop, and I came inside, and he's like, get the fuck out of here. I just mopped. And I was like, dude,
okay.
I am done mopping for like a minute. I don't have to
Smoke
pick up
them
my
if you
mop.
got them.
I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an example, right? And then like the ladies just fucking all rolling up front and just finding a spot, filling in, just figuring out how to use the technology stuff, like and running it. You know, Dana up there fucking hustling and just doing great shit.
Right.
Mona showing up and upselling. Yeah, Mona outside fucking running around doing fucking water sales. You know, just not water sales, but just pushing water, dropping water off for everybody, checking on people, running in the store to grab more waters when we ran out. Like,
yeah,
chaos. And then like you know, you and Charlie up front fucking doing the tickets, and just make sure people were good to go, and Donnie wandering around freaking making sure that people weren't overserved, and Bond and Ryan just fucking telling the story of, I guess it's now, is it a myth yet? When is the myth? When does it become a myth?
No, it's these will become a myth once they're out of stock, right?
Oh,
and
I was
then
telling the story.
We'll tell tales of their glory.
I was gonna say I was telling the myth of the bearded Viking and how it came to be, and like the story that Ryan refers to as the God story, which is hilarious to me because like he's like, God brought us here. And I'm like, yeah, yep, definitely. Somebody brought us here. I don't know who, but it's definitely a fortuitous opportunity. And it's just like that, you know, that whole thing. And then, you know, Bond and Tito holding hands and looking at each other's rings and being all like romanticized about it, and just, you know, giving each other a good time. And then just the nonstop happiness and kindness and smiles, the genuineness of the company and the people involved with it. I mean, and then you guys just let me go around and do whatever the fuck I did. I don't even think I did anything. I was just talking to people.
Well, everybody was just really happy the whole time, which was awesome. It was good to have a grand opening, a whole weekend like that, where, you know, you always like prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And really, we didn't have to do anything. People were just really cool, really just relaxed. You know, we had some people dressing up, which is really cool, coming in with the Viking garb. And they're like, "Can we bring our swords in?" Like, yeah, I don't care. Go ahead, bring your sword in. Just don't draw it on anybody. You know, like. Yeah. Just the crowd that came in had a lot of fun with it, which is really cool and refreshing. We didn't have to worry about it becoming a stab and jab, you know?
Yeah, and there was a shitload of like kids running around, family friendly, the whole idea with no technology. I mean, how many people did you see in the phones, man?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
they were all hanging out.
I mean, even down to the point where like, you know, Rob and freaking Will were out there, and we got to do shout out to fucking Murph and fucking Will, man. Like, I mean, they were out there. It was a weird moment when I walked outside and they were comparing freaking lens sizes, but like they were just out there fucking taking photos and shit.
Bro, how far does yours zoom?
Yeah. I can adjust mine with my finger, not my whole hand.
Right, and then Nick showing up early and helping us do everything.
Fucking Halverson out there fucking like, oh man, I ate a weed cookie today, bro. Oh, my back's good for at least 6 hours. I was like, let's get you off the fucking ledge, bro. Like, I don't need you fucking up your back. And then Kevin like out there just, I am the meat cart pusher, and I am big, so I will slam the door on you if you try to fucking come through.
Right. If you're trying to go through the door, I'm still shutting the door.
Yep. It was fucking great, man. Just I have never in my entire life seen something that we laid out the night before and we just fell in line. I've never seen that magic before, because you always have somebody who's just a dick bag. Mm-hmm. Not that we have dick bags, but sometimes people are dick
not
bags.
Not even one.
It was fucking magical, man. Like I get emotional just thinking about it, because it's just, I mean, so many days of fights and battles internally with us just trying to get it across the finish line. So many conversations that were rough and brutal that made us like strong and the way that we are. And then it was just like, okay, here's the direction from the tower. And like, none of you guys would let me serve anything. You guys were just like, you got to talk. You're the face of the company. It was a fucking weird moment for me.
Just get the fuck away from us. This is our job. Go do what you're supposed to do. Whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, whatever the fuck this is. But I think I put a post out there on social media today, and I actually got like teary-eyed thinking of like writing it up. But like the moment that I broke I broke the original mead bottle, and like it shattered. I mean, before that was like overcast and kind of cloudy, and as soon as I fucking did it, like the clouds parted. It was fucking weird.
It got warm.
It got super warm, and like so many people. I mean, we had. I mean, you saw like how many fucking cars were parked wherever the fuck they could. I mean, it was the most Montana way you could imagine.
Oh yeah, we had like it for people that aren't there, and people that are listening from different states and stuff. They'll pretty much make anything a parking stall in Montana, even the side of the highway. And it was pretty fantastic. I mean, our parking lot was so full that people were parking all the way almost to the bridge. And it was unbelievable. Even like the local sheriffs rolled in, and it was like that that country song. Don't worry, y'all. They just came to hang out. And they hung out for like 2 hours, just bullshitting with everybody, hanging out in the corral. Like it was super just laid back, super cool environment. Can't get better than that.
No, man. I mean, the music, the acoustic music playing by Mr. Dusty Lake himself, the oxymoron of a name that you can imagine, the most oxymoron name ever. But I mean, he was soothing everybody with his jams and his tunes, and
this Texas draw.
Yes, sir. That's what he said all the time. Yes, sir. I'm like, bro, you're older than me. Quit saying sir to me. It's fucking weird. But you know what? It was. I don't know. We've been talking about it for so long. It's fucking crazy.
It was really cool. I feel bad for the ones that wanted to be there and missed it. Just because it was really cool, but there is hope for those of you that didn't get to make the grand opening, but still want to show up and be there for something cool.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff we'll be doing. So
we got our release parties too.
Mm-hmm.
So the release parties will be cool. They won't be quite as grand as the grand opening, but the release parties will be kick ass when we have new flavors come out. So
yeah, it'd be awesome. I can't wait.
People will be seeing those, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, things like that.
Yeah, man. We have I mean, we're kind of jumping into men's mental health already, so let's just jump into it, right? So we say there's the wrong way, the right way, and the bearded Viking way. So the bearded Viking way is absolutely the hardest possible way you can go about something.
Yeah, it's definitely going full retard, hard R, in the wrong direction until you find out that it's the wrong direction and that you were going full retard.
Yeah. It's I think my example of it would be, and this is a reference back to when I was a young Lance Corporal. I had this staff sergeant who told me, I need Marines in my unit that if I tell them to move a mountain, they'll move a mountain, even if they just pick up a fucking e-tool and carry it fucking e-tool by e-tool. And that's like the example of the bearded Viking way, which we're not always efficient, which is fine. But at the same time, we also are who we are. And there's no quit. So once you commit to something, you're committed. And if you shake your hand or you put your name on the dotted line or whatever it is you do, the bearded Viking way is no matter what happens, you will make that come to fruition. And
I think that's exactly what we did.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did it the bearded Viking way until we couldn't do it the bearded Viking way, and we figured out the right way, right? Because we've never done this before.
No,
we had no fucking idea how to do this. We've never built a building, never built a company, and Lord knows we're not out of the fucking woods yet.
I got to figure out how to do shipping shit now.
Right? Don't you wish you should just fly mom up for the weekend and she'll teach you how to do it? But no, really though, we've never done any of this shit before. And like I say, we're not out of the woods yet. We still got all kinds of trenches and all kinds of grenades to jump on. But at the same time, we did stuff the bearded Viking way, like you alluded to. And then when it came to opening day, everybody had their jobs. Everybody was prideful of their jobs. Everybody took their shit serious. And it was as smooth as your forehead.
It's pretty smooth.
It's smooth. It's smooth.
Smooth.
It's smooth.
Yeah.
But, I'm sorry.
It was perfect.
It's so smooth.
Perfect.
I'm not used to seeing you without a hat. You had your cowboy hat on all weekend, and then you have a hat backwards usually on the podcast.
Yeah, dude, I had to put it on because when I was out working and doing shit, I got a sunburn.
Yeah, sunburn.
And I just had the
all fucking red and shit when we got there. I was like, have you been drinking already?
Mm-hmm.
No, but seriously, it all kind of came together. Everybody took pride in their jobs and did everything that they were assigned to.
Mm-hmm.
And it really worked out good. And I think it was just like nobody wants to do it the bearded Viking way when it comes to doing it the hard way. But if you don't know and you don't have people around you to give you the guidance to know what they're doing, how else are you supposed to learn, right?
Yeah, I mean that's really what it is. I mean, I think the way that I would describe the bearded Viking way is, if we're going to be honest, other than us just being fucking idiots, I would say we're tenacity and hard work meet growth or learning.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely hit plenty of points where we could have given up.
I mean, there was many times.
You could have just said, fuck it all.
I was
let's sell it all and go on a nice vacation.
I was like, there's many times I'm like, it's so much easier to bootleg. By the way, what are you drinking? We didn't even do what we're drinking. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking a 5th Marines Batanga.
Nice. The fuck is a Batanga?
It is fresh lime.
Okay.
Shit ton of tequila.
Oh, we're doing Mexican shit.
And some Mexican Coke. Because I had to drive back from my Cinco de Mayo.
Oh.
So now I'm trying to catch up.
I'm just drinking my boo-boo. My Montana honey moonshine. Everybody's like, probably gonna ask, why aren't you guys drinking mead? Well, because we drank a shitload of mead on Saturday night.
We did. I bought myself 2 cases.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have my little stock pile for the next little bit until the next jaunt up there, and then we'll get some more. But
bottling parties are gonna be like every 5 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I already started looking for apartments. Legit.
That's fair.
We could me and Nate could split an apartment.
That's awesome. That'd be.
I'm gonna talk to our bearded Viking apartment.
Well, I mean, long term, it'd be great to get some dry cabins in down below and just have that.
Yeah, awesome. Once we flatten it all out, then we'll just move into mini cabins and shit outside or something. But yeah, no, well, definitely for the short term. And the cool thing was too, is I have to give a shout out to all the spouses. Everybody is super supportive. Mm-hmm. Jess, Dana, Mona, they were there. Maggie was there, super supportive of everything. For those that wanted to be there and couldn't, still super supportive. I came back and told Justine, I was like, hey, probably going to be going up there like once a month for like the rest of eternity and or more. And she goes, okay. I was like, I think I need to look at apartments. She's like, okay. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
You're like,
makes that easy.
This is a fucking really easy combo.
Yeah, this went really, really my way. This is cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a beat to shit old Chevy truck and just drive.
I'm so glad that you decided to go back to that the bow tie is where it's at, not the fucking mistake that's circled.
Well, I mean, until 2020, Ford didn't have shit for me, and then in 22, they really perfected it.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna try to give that one to you just because you're there. That's fine.
I still have a garage full of bow ties.
That's good. That's good. Dude, it was fucking crazy though. Like, it's weird to sit here and kind of unpack because like I haven't even had a chance to talk to really anybody. I've had snippets of conversations with people and from the company and just people in town. Like like today I stopped in to to the liquor store and we got our fucking bottles on a shelf in a liquor store. Like I didn't.
It just happened. Well, and like even when I went in to buy my special Montana whiskey, you know, the owners of the liquor store there in town were talking to me about it, saying, "Hey, we reached out about cases." I was like, "I promise, like Monday, Tuesday, we're gonna talk to you guys and get this stuff all sorted out because grand opening has been nuts, you know." But super nice people, super down to earth, and just, you know, wanted to carry our stuff, which is awesome. That
Dude,
I'm small town fucking rocks. You know what I mean?
dude, yeah.
Because everybody was there. Oh, we've been driving past this thing for like a year and a half. We thought some asshole was just building a house, but this is awesome. This is way better, you know?
I actually want to do something that you're not prepared for, which is totally fine because it's what I do all the time to you. So just fucking run with it. So I'm going to read you an article that was written by one of the older gal that was interviewing me. This actually launches. So you got
I didn't
this
get to see it. I didn't get to see it yet.
It's not. It doesn't launch till Friday. So this is
so
the
cool.
fucking this is the low key like fuck you guys, we got this. So this is written by GAIL, the Ramblings of GAIL, which I felt like is almost like Orion's Rants, but whatnot. But she was
she was a super nice lady, and her husband was super nice. Like me and Charlie sat there and talked to him for about a half an hour before they even came in.
Yeah,
they were so cool.
So you guys are gonna have to bear with me because I I don't have my readers on because I'm fucking old right now.
Get your monocle in.
No, because then I'll look like a fucking version of like a crossbreed between ZZ Top and the Monopoly guy.
No, the Monopoly guy didn't have one. Remember, Mandela effect.
Lies. It was in fucking no. It was
in Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura would predict. No, When Nature Calls.
Yeah. Oh yeah, When Nature Calls. That's it.
It was the scene right before the rhino scene.
Exactly.
All right, so this is in the words of GAIL, and by the way, she was an aircraft riveter during Korea in the United States Marine Corps. In the United States Marine Corps.
Yes, she was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, so
she was a pay gal too.
Mm-hmm.
She paid everybody coming back from Vietnam as well.
Mm-hmm.
We got to hear her story. She's awesome.
She's fucking awesome, way awesome. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to read this to you. This is the actual article. So, what do you think it is? I asked my husband, Cowboy Bob, time and time again as we drove by the new structure on Highway 78, just past the Yellowstone River Bridge. I was referring to the Marine Corps-style Quonset hut located on 4595 Montana 78.
She knew exactly what it was. It's fucking great.
Are the Marines building some sort of building aimed at keeping us safe? I asked. Or remember the saying, the Marines have landed and have the situation well in hand. I haven't seen any Marines, but maybe they're being subversive. We pondered what was going on. A house without windows, a garage without garage doors, a shed with small doors. We were baffled. Then a couple of months ago, fire pits and benches and tables appeared. We began to ponder or to wonder if it was some sort of summer camp for kids. You know, marshmallows and hot dogs after riding horses or camping. Perfect for a kids' camp. Still, there were no hints as to what was really happening. On Friday, May 3rd, and throughout the weekend, the answer was revealed. The Quonset hut is the home of Bearded Viking Mead Company, which held its grand opening over the weekend, serving more than 600 people around the county, giving sample after sample of mead. Meaderies are on the upswing in the U.S., with a new one opening every 3 days, now numbering 500 in the United States. According to beardedviking.com, mead is one of the fastest growing non-distilled beverages in the world. We are meadery, by the way, just so we all know. 333.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
333, baby.
When Cowboy and I got to the party, we visited with the co-owner and a former Marine, JT Robertson, aka Vico, or the bearded one. Thanks, guys. I want to let you know that. Thanks.
Ma'am.
This is now a thing. Robertson said the Bearded Viking is an undertaking by a group of 10, including 6 veterans, who decided to throw caution into the wind and start a mead company here in Columbus. And from what it looks like, they've struck a chord with the new brew. Mead is an alcohol created from honey, an ancient brew that is gaining acceptance on the palates of discerning public here in Montana. That was funny. I think that's really funny.
I think it's perfect.
Bearded Viking mead menu currently consists of 4 flavors: wildflower honey mead, jalapeno raspberry, pear, and apple pie. I had the apple pie, and it was absolutely excellent. The first batch of mead used 1,000 pounds of honey from the local honey supplier, Sunshine Apiary. 2 sweet Columbus businesses in one product. There was a food truck for those who wanted to eat, and the whole crowd was having a lot of fun. We'll go back for sure. The bearded ones added a tent for inclement weather and are planning to expand within the year. I congratulate these veterans on taking a risk and adding fun and flavor to the Stillwater County community. Stop by and maybe we'll see you there. I've still got to try that jalapeno raspberry flavor. Semper Fi, Marines. Job well done.
Hoorah. Next time I see Gail, I'm going to give her a hug.
Mm-hmm. It's like stuff like that, dude. I get choked up about like.
Yeah. No, it's super. It's
crazy.
It's a super. She talked with you for quite a while. She talked with One Horse and I for quite a while, and but still, like, she had her own hot takes in there, and I think she described it perfectly. Yeah. Especially when it comes to, just jumping feet first out of the airplane and hoping that your chute opens, because it was a lot of hard work, and I think that the people that got to see, drive past the building and kind of see how it was progressing over time.
Yeah.
And, the stall and then the progression, and then just the final push. I think they really get a taste and that feeling of don't quit and it's coming, Yeah. And it ended up being grand, right?
Yeah.
It ended up being a lot of fun. We had a lot of people show up. We had friends from all over show up.
Dude, fucking Nick drove from Vermont. Like, I'm so humbled for that.
Right. And
I'm going to have an emotional breakdown right now, dude. I'm like fucking bawling right now.
Well, when we talked about it, we've talked about Ray on the podcast. Ray came all the way up,
Yeah. Kevin, Marquardt. Kevin. We can't say his nickname on the radio, on the podcast. We'll be for sure shut down.
Just on YouTube.
Yeah.
We need number 50 to go far and wide, though. But yeah, just the overwhelming support that we got from friends and family was epic, and it was one of those things where you kind of you hope, but you don't expect it, and then people just started showing up, right? Just one by one, friends and family just started showing up. That you're like, holy shit, dude, you guys drove all the way here. You made the trip just for us. Yeah. That was epic.
I mean, to me, it means so much because I mean, I never started this venture to be famous or be known or be inspirational. I just wanted to make hooch because it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was just trying to get you guys blind so you'd stop talking shit about my dreadlocks.
Oh man, you failed. You tried, but you failed.
That's right.
It's a good failure.
No, it definitely was, and I don't think that I think I could probably say this for the company, for everybody. The amount of like there's ways to be humbled, right? There's the way that life humbles you, and life humbles you like hardcore. Like just oh, you're winning? Let me just go ahead and take that for a minute. Are you willing to get back up and fucking push forward through it? Are you willing to use the Bearded Viking way, follow the Bearded Viking way, and just work harder than life when life gets hard? And we said that a lot of times, and that's great to be humbled that way. But when you have so many people that you had no idea that were really in your corner, you just had your crew, and they just show up in groves. And droves and droves and droves of fucking people just fucking keep coming. And then you have people saying, this isn't your meadery anymore. This is Stillwater County's meadery. And you're just like, wow. Like,
well, and her article actually hit, our topic on the head, and what we're talking about is, fear of the unknown. I think we very much have lived the fear of the unknown, right?
yeah, and I made it out without any ulcers so far. That's pretty fucking weird.
So far.
It's crazy to me. I mean, while you guys were holding down the fort in the podcast, and Ryan and Nate and myself and Charlie were up here freaking just literally hammering away on the remainder piece. And Hook, I gotta give Hook the fucking Hook the most credit that I can possibly give somebody. Like that dude, literally, him and Nate fucking slept for maybe an hour.
Oh yeah, those guys are insane.
And they came back and fucking knocked out 1,000 bottles of bottling just to make sure that we had.
Well, and the thing is too, is like one of the cool things about those two especially is they're 100% in and just 1,000% living for it, right?
Yeah.
Especially Hook, he's absolutely living for it. For Nate to do what he did, in conjunction with what he does for, his, bring home the bacon job.
Yeah.
Is incredible. You can't ask for or duplicate the type of people that.
No, I really enjoy. I mean, I'm the way that they humbled me, and I think all of us. I mean, even if you don't have a heart, like you were the Grinch. If you were the Grinch, your heart did grow 3 times that day, like 3 times the size that day. Like it was fucking crazy, man. The overall, and not just the people that we know, but like the people that were in the area that were just like, we will be back for sure. And even the guys that didn't like the hooch, they were like, we'll still come back. My wife loves it. I'm going to hang out. I like beer. That's okay. But they're willing to just come back and hang out because of the atmosphere.
Yeah, the atmosphere and just kind of the place it was created for them to just go out and hang out with each other and be around people. And we've talked about it a lot where it's okay to not like people or not want to be around people all the time, but you do still have to be around people and go fuel yourself up every once in a while. And we've created that kind of environment and atmosphere where, yeah, you can go hang out, just chill out around the campfire and talk to people you didn't know and have a good time. And I think that's what a lot of people were doing. And
I think you hit the nail on the head there, dude. Like it really was. It was just like everybody's been to a bar. And like in Montana, you can take your kids to the bar. A lot of places you can. But is that really where you want to take your kids?
Yeah.
You want to take them out to a place where there's a fire and they can hang out. And there's a food truck and there's, games for them to play. And like you get a chance to chill and see somebody you've never met. Like the sheriffs are like, I have never met like 3/4 of these people.
Yeah. And most of them were from the town. And and when they were leaving, they were teasing with me and Charlie. They're like, man, we tried to make people get out of line, but nobody wanted to get out of line. So I was like, well, there's JT, arrest JT. It'll be fun.
The rumors from that, by the way, are hilarious.
Oh, I figured they would be. And I knew that it was going to be so much fun.
It's not even about me. Allegedly, there's 26 arrests on the property.
Oh yeah, 26, huh?
Yeah,
that's cool. I wonder where we were the whole time.
I mean, if they got arrested, like those cops were quick.
Yeah, they were super fast. They were
fucking quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like the the legend of the Marine Corps, or the legends of the Marine Corps. You have to kill your mom or kill your brother or your firstborn or something like that, or you're just getting out of jail. They only take felons and stuff like that to join the Marine Corps, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, man.
I think we're just building our own legend, right?
It's definitely a fucking minute. And it's really funny because I'm on the search and rescue with Hook and Devin. And And so I know the sheriff. I know the actual
Mhm.
sheriff, the county sheriff, right?
Yeah.
His name's Chip, right? So last night Charlie and I were like, I love this place, but I'm fucking done. I can't be here past like 4. I'm fucking out. We labeled like 8 boxes of tier, and then we were like, fuck this bitch, I'm out. I can't. I got to take a minute. Like
It's
I
time to
gotta
go.
take it. I go like I got to do. I know we got shit to do, but like I'm like completely to the end of my rope with it, of just being tired. Not the place, just
Yeah.
being tired. So we rolled over to the Palladium, and Chip was there, and I was like, "Hey, man, I just wanted to make sure you guys were good." And he was like, "You guys are the." He's like, the sheriff literally said, "You guys are the type of establishment that we want everybody to emulate." And I was like, "Oh, that's some big shoes that you're fucking."
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure, dude.
Yeah. Hey, it's not always going to be that way, but
It's a
like,
great compliment, but that's a lot of pressure.
did you just call us Michael Jordan? Because like, I feel like you just call us Michael Jordan.
the goat of outside mead drinking.
Just of alcohol in general. Apparently, I guess like the service, everything else, and his wife was like, we meant to get over there, but we were over at the Balloon Festival till like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, I don't know, we're open Thursday, each weekend.
We'll be open
And he
again.
was, yeah, and she was like, we'll be over there, don't worry. And then Joe at the Palladium, he had similar problems getting open, and he's about 2 years to get his license for the brewery, and he was like, he talked me off the ledge many times when I was having a fucking beer at his place, just like fuck this, right? He's like, don't worry, it'll happen, and he was just so cool. So I took him a bottle and I signed it.
Well,
His
they
wife,
even took time out of their day to come over too, which was really cool.
Mhm.
That type of support is awesome in a community.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to see everybody else win,
Yeah, and I think that's actually another depiction of what the Bearded Viking way is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this podcast was our way of continuously trying to grow our community, our tribe, without having Hooch involved. Now, Hooch makes it easier because you guys are excited about Hooch. I'm excited about Hooch. But like, this was our way, and that, I think that's also another thing that you have to look at is the Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys conversations that we have is there at the meadery.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see it, you see the embodiment of it, and you see the hey, I'm going to sit down next to people, I'm going to talk about things, and I'm going to put my technology away so that way I can grow a community, because it takes a community to live. And it was fucking awesome. I mean, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it definitely takes away a little bit of the fear of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we all have that. We all have that fear, right? Especially going into something like this, because you don't know how people are going to accept you. You don't know how people are going to accept the drink. You don't know how, what the fallout is going to be if something goes wrong, or just really the unknowns, right? You can't tally up all the unknowns, or you can't live by, what could happen. You just can prepare yourself for what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and how you're going to push through the adversity of it. And I think this is the way it all went down. If you watch any of the podcasts ever, you'll know how many bumps in the road we hit, and just how sweet it was to finally open and have the crew come together the way they did, and have the community and people that we didn't know react the way they did. So that kind of it kind of takes away that fear of the unknown, especially moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always going to be the fear there, but we're going to be able to look back and be like, well, we did pretty okay for a grand opening. So let's mimic that. Let's use that as a template, and let's be pretty okay next time.
Yeah,
and
I
the
think
time
so.
after that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot. I think that's a really good point. By the way, excellent segue into the next piece. It was well done, sir. Thank you for being the color, if you will, not just because of your color.
That's white neck.
White neck. I might introduce you as Alex the White Neck Martinez next time.
The white neck.
No, I think that's actually real. For me, it wasn't the fear of the unknown that actually got it. I'm gonna kind of do a flip on it, and I'm gonna ask you a question here in a second. But for me, it was the fear of the current known. How are we gonna pay the bills, and how are we gonna cross the starting line? Because everybody was thinking like, oh, we're gonna cross the finish line, but
There is no finish line.
there's no finish line. The whole
No.
goal is to make this is a legacy. And I think we've talked about that enough that the legacy that we're building is not for us, it's for our children and our children's children and our grandchildren, our great grandchildren. That one. But that's like the whole goal of this. To me, this is the opportunity for that, but it was the fear of the known. How are you going to find funding to purchase the lumber you need to fix the contractor's fuck ups? How are you going to?
That still falls into an unknown category, though. How are we going to?
Yeah,
we didn't have a plan. It wasn't drawn out on paper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was just you got choices.
Yeah,
you got choices: quit or find a way.
Bills to pay. Here's your choices. You know?
Yeah. And for me, a lot of people don't know this, but like my regular job, you know, I'm a consultant, so if there's no work, I don't get paid. And so in September of last year, work dried up. And so I've been on the struggle bus for a little bit, but I've held it together and was able to find a way to move forward. And I know that you have different aspects, whether they're financial, emotional, or mental ways, but that's all that fear of the unknown. For me, when I was saying the fear of the known is there's a known, you have a debt. And you're in a small town, so anything that you do affects everyone. If you don't pay one guy,
it takes food off their table. Yeah,
and then that takes food off of the IGA's table, and that takes food off of everybody's table eventually, right? It's that, I mean, trickle down economics is a real thing. Maybe Reagan was right. I don't know. It could be fucking crazy.
Well, especially when you're the leader of a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
The leader of a company, and people are trying to push forward, not just for you, but for the company too.
Mm-hmm.
And then if something doesn't go right, or we can't pay a bill, or we can't do something, then that ultimately affects all those people, you know, all those people that put in all the time and effort, you know, not getting paid, or, you know, hey, yeah, as soon as we open the doors, you're going to get paid, that type of thing. And it can really impact people. And basically just being a company based on our word and our ethos and sticking to those and living for it.
Yeah.
That creates an impact too in the community. Especially when it comes to, you know, the work that people put in.
I mean, that's a real thing, right? So like you think about that impact, and maybe that's the fear of the unknown for me, is like, how many people does this really affect? Because I know that it affects the people around me.
So maybe like the fear of the unknown impact.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably what it was, the thing. I mean, I can't tell you how many nights I've gone through where I have just like clenched my teeth because of stress through the entire night, woke up with a migraine, basically, put on my pants, put on my shirt, did my daytime job that I fucking hate, and went to work at the meadery and just been like, you know, that inch forward because I was afraid of the impact that it would have if we didn't win.
Right. Like, and then you get those little wins and you're like, okay, maybe we're going to be okay.
Yeah, we're going to be okay. We got a new investor, and the investor's just in for the ride, and they're good. We can pay at least some of the bills today. And then you pay a little bit more of the bills, and then you pay a little bit more of the bills. We're almost debt free after this weekend, which is
get there. Which was huge in one weekend, right?
Yeah, like we're in this for the long haul, and I was like, okay, well, let's go then. Like, let's go. You gotta go.
And for the investors that showed up, I'm so glad that they did, so they could see, you know, the impact and just how much people loved it. And how many people came back the second day just to say, hey, can we just go buy bottles? You know, we did the tasting, but can we go buy bottles and then walk out with a case of mead?
Yeah.
That was huge. And for the people that believed in us and invested in us, you know, as a whole, as a company, I'm sure that put their mind at ease a little bit.
I think that they're actually more excited probably than we are, because they believed in the words that we said and the actions that we were doing, and they saw it happen. It's this weird, it's like we unwrapped a fucking brand new bike on Christmas Day.
Fuck, I love new bikes on Christmas.
Right. Like that's what it's like. Dude, I'm gonna do so many jumps on this bike, bro. So many jumps. So many jumps.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna go make a jump right now. I'm gonna go steal some lumber.
Yeah, like let's just go fuck it. I mean, yeah, let's go to a construction site. Don't come to ours because we don't have any more, which is fucking great.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's fucking great. There's no lumber anywhere at our place. But like, it was really like that, and I think that was awesome. I mean, and then the investors that we have, they're ambassadors of everything that we're doing, not just the mead, but like the community, the oneness, the growth, the podcast, the men's mental health. That like they embrace what we're doing.
The bearded Viking way.
They embrace the bearded Viking way. So now I have a question for you. So we talked about my fear. What was yours?
My biggest fear was just the failure to launch, right? Because there were so many things that we could have. There's so many things that could have hampered us from launching, right? Mm-hmm. Even up until the night before, that people have no idea about, and unless they listen to this podcast tonight, they'll still never know. And you know, we had 250 bottles, 300 bottles on Thursday. Yeah. And we were opening Friday at 4. And we were able to intercept our bottles thanks to the magnificent fucking crew that we have. It would have never happened without the crew that we have and the know-how that they had and the knowledge that they had because of the trades that they do. Mm-hmm. That would have never been possible. And then the bottles getting there and us being able to blow through, 2,000 bottles or 2,500 bottles, whatever we did Friday before the opening. We literally stopped bottling at 2:30, 2:45 on Friday. And we still were able to, we ran out of a couple flavors. Yeah. But nobody was mad about it. They just came back and got it the next day after another 4 a.m. to 7 when, Hook and Nate did it and bottled 1,000 or 2,000, whatever they did. And then we bottled 1,000 or 2,000 more in the afternoon to get ready. So like, those are the things that people had no idea about. And did we show it? Hell no. We were all having a good time doing our jobs, not going to bed until 1 or 2 a.m. since, the time we all got there to the time we left, that right there, I was afraid. My whole thing was failure to launch. And then the idea that people aren't going to show up for all the pushes that we did. And because my whole thing is people say they're going to do a lot, but very rarely do people show up. And people showed up. A lot of people showed up. And that kind of took. Go ahead.
And everybody that didn't show up that said they were going to come had like a legitimate reason that they couldn't.
Oh yeah, and not to disparage anybody that couldn't show up or anything like that, because I mean, my own wife couldn't show up,
Yeah.
And she wanted to be there.
If you're driving from Florida and you fucking eat in Mississippi in a Mississippi gas station and you stay in Mississippi because you can't make it 2 steps without shitting or puking, Nick.
Other Nick.
Like that's really important. But you still showed up for us because you were there like probably dying on the shit or fucking doing what the rest of us do. Just fucking Facebooking and Instagramming and doing
Yeah,
all the shit. Like,
exactly. And Mike just promoting the hell out of it. Like I was going to call into the show on Friday, but it was so busy. I couldn't even call into the show because I was going to call into the show and just show everybody that was there, for, 10-minute spot or something, because he gave us the option. Right.
yeah. Yeah.
And so that was my biggest fear is we put all this into it. We worked for so long. People have been up there building and working their asses off, you, Charlie, Nate, Hook, and Donnie and a handful of others working constantly, where, the Utah crew, we went up for big pushes and helping where we could, when we could. And those guys showed up, showed out. And my biggest fear was, fuck, these guys went and did all this and spent their time unpaid for free to help us do this big push. And that if people don't show up, that is going to weigh heavily on you. It's going to weigh heavily on me. And the last thing I wanted to do was let our team down and the people around us. That was something that I was not wanting to swallow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think a lot of your stress too came from not only like the bumps in the road and the hurdles, but not wanting to let people down.
Oh, for sure. The hardest thing for me, and this is like a peek in the burden of leadership, if you want to call it that. From my perspective, like I started making hooch because I didn't want to fucking deal with the pandemic. You don't know the story? Go listen to I don't know, any of the podcasts. Like I tell it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But then when you involve your family, and I'm talking like my chosen family, and they buy into it, now you're carrying the burden of them. And then when you expand past that to you have your inner circle, and then you have your secondary inner circle, right? Everybody has you have layers, like an onion, like an ogre, right? Right. When you get to your second layer, and then those people are so in on it that they bring investors you've never met personally into the fold. Now all of a sudden you go from, well, I have an agreement with my friends that our friendship is more important than any business aspect. And yeah, we'll have fucking hard conversations, but I think the amount of effort that's shown will overcome any issues with dollars. Because you can make $1 back. You can't get a brother back, And I was okay with that. And then when we got to the point where we were bigger, and now all of a sudden we have like a fucking true startup, which I felt like we were looking at hedge funding at some point. Like it felt like that. Like
we're gonna be on
VC
what's
bullshit.
That website?
Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. Shark Tanking it, or what is it? Not GoFund. Is it not GoFundMe?
No,
what's the other
it's
one?
Crowdfunding.
Crowdsourcing. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, we were there, and it's weird to me because I kept when I started getting to that aspect of from this to this to this, and then I was okay for the most part, but when September hit and the majority of my daytime job work was taken from me, they just no work to do, I was like, okay, now I can't pay my own bills, and I can't pay these other bills. It was
now we're in a fight for survival.
I was like, there is literally only one outcome from that, and that is literally me going to work myself to death, and I might die in the meadery. It's okay. There might be a fucking mead flavor called the bearded one, and that's just the blood in my veins that fucking bled out as I was fucking pounding nails or mixing shit by hand or whatever it was. Maybe so many fucking things that could have gone wrong and did, and so I got to that point where it was just so much burden. And I mean, if you ask anybody, for any of the listeners, if you guys ask anybody, the last in 6 weeks, I have been on fucking full tilt for any conversation. I give zero fucks about anything. I was
So
like,
the good news is though, is you're not pregnant because you had a 6-week mensie.
oh man, it wasn't even the Menzie, man. The Menzie made it even worse. I was just like, fuck me, man. And I'm just lucky that people like took it with, in the words of Tro, they took it with grace, because they fucking looked at all the work, like you can, my friend Moose, which you met Moose, he's one of our
Mhm.
investors.
Yeah.
My neighbor, he's like, you only have so many 18-hour days that you can do in your life. And I was like, oh fuck. Well, my time has already come and gone. I was part of a war.
No, those are like 24 or 36 hours, dude. We're
Yeah,
dialing
we're
it back. Like
stepping
as you
down the
get
back a
older,
little bit.
pretty soon it'll be like a 9 to 5,
Yeah, I hope. I don't think that's ever gonna be a thing, but I think it is. It's gonna be like a 9 to 8. We'll be okay with an 11-hour day.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, whatever. But it was and to continue on that path, because like we digress a lot, we go down rabbit holes, but
Well,
like,
and so the thing is though about this episode, it's number 50. So if we get a little bit into the weeds about the company and the nuances of it and the emotional impact that it had, I don't think it's that big of a deal. We have our men's mental health topics, but at the same time, this had to do with a whole lot of men's mental health, not just yours, but all of the men, all of
yeah,
the men that are in our tribe that have seen the ups and downs. Some know more than others, some, because through it all, through 49 episodes, very rarely is one of us not smiling or having a good time talking about it or talking about something else and putting a different men's mental health topic out there and then talking about spooky conspiracy shit just to lighten the mood up.
yeah,
And it's still shit was going on in the background, right? So, this very well could just be, our men's mental health podcast and the ups and downs and emotional roller coasters, wins, failures, everything,
yeah,
just as well as it could be topic driven.
yeah.
So,
I mean, we should. I'm in on everybody understanding like the things that we preach, we do, and this
well, we
is,
were going through.
yeah. Those topics are because we came across those topics. It's not like we fucking have forethought.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's like the thing is, I think people don't understand. And it's just because it's not, we do the podcast for them. We do the podcast for everybody and to get the name out there and to promote everything. But at the same time, a lot of the topics were derivative of what we were going through. Nobody
Yeah,
saw the freaking battles that you and I had 2 hours before we did the podcast and then got on and had fun. Right.
right.
So it's just it's one of those things where it's a give and take and not everybody knows the whole story. But now everybody, at least if they watch this episode, can get a little bit of insight on the things that the whole crew went through just to get us there. And it's almost to the point where like I wish we had a cameraman following us around just
Yeah,
so they could see the trials and tribulations that we went through
the
to get
hard
there.
knocks of the bearded Viking,
Mhm.
like HBO's Hard Knocks, but it's actually just, fucking.
Just a bunch of bearded dudes yelling at each other.
It's the sticky beard of fucking. This is the sticky beard because of all the fucking honey. No, I mean it's real though. It's crazy because I sit here and I think about like you fucks, and we're here because you guys were like, hey, I'm kind of blind, but this fucking hooch is good.
We could probably figure this out.
Yeah,
By we mean you.
yeah. You're fucking neurotic enough to go do it. But like you're on to something. You just need to figure it out. And then, 200 illegal batches later, like we figured it out, which is good. And the thing is in that growth and that project and that planning and that everything that we did, right? Everything that we fucking did. It really fucking it really made this so much sweeter at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the prep. Like we just trained, like we were fat kids that were 380 pounds and 5'6". Like if we were a foot taller, we'd be fucking a perfect circle. And we just trained to run 4 marathons back to back to back. No, 4 triathlons back to back to back. Right. And not the Iron Cowboy, but like the Iron Viking. Right. We just fucking went through the Iron Viking. And it is super fucking crazy to me because I can't tell you, and I'm sure you have a fucking similar thing. Like you lay in bed at night and you're trying to sleep. But when you finally fall asleep, you're literally still dreaming about the dumb shit that you are doing. So you don't get rest. You are literally like, I'm asleep. It's great. I'm asleep. I pulled up to the meadery. Oh, there's still a floor that needs to be fucking done. I can't cut a straight line yet because I am not a fucking carpenter. Right? Like,
well, that's from sinking posts to brewing in there, right? So that was
brick by brick, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I literally cannot wait for the first time somebody says you don't know to me.
That's when you just smile and just say, no, yeah. I don't. I had no idea.
Exactly. I just can't wait. That's a fucking moment. I'm not going to go off on the person. I won't. I will kill with kindness, and I will teach with grace. And I just can't wait. And then when I walk away, somebody says, you know that he built this by hand. And then you know that the COO fucking built this by hand, and the CSO built this by hand. You know, they literally built it, and just not even be there for the conversation, and then have that moment where that young individual says to themselves internally, not to us, how do I become that tenacious?
Well, and that's a cool thing about it too, is this building specifically, it wasn't ideal. We got it. We did what we could with it, and it's here now. There's legitimately everybody has sunk a post or nailed something, or everybody on the team has done something.
Yeah.
When it comes to the actual construction of this building, right? So everybody had, sweat and manual labor and, money and time and everything wrapped up into it, for sure. Yeah. So it was like the team building exercise before the team building exercise, like these guys, I'm going to give them an ice cream party and I'm going to get sprinkles because winners get sprinkles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And on that note, by the way, I don't want pizza for like 7 months.
Oh, yeah. So much pizza in 2 days, 3 days.
I am fucking pizza out. Like, please, God, don't send me pizza gift certificates. Don't do that.
Everybody's sending pizza gift certificates.
I have a fucking really weird moment for me that I actually want to talk about because of the surreality of this, right? So, it was fucking really, really weird when people came to buy hooch from us and support us, and they drove from wherever the fuck they drove from, and they presented me with gifts.
Oh yeah, you had I forget what his little screen name.
Oh, the bearded bard.
Is that what it is?
The Hack Reacts guy.
Yeah, Hack Reacts. That's Hack Reacts.
And he showed up with his fucking kitchen axes. By the way, those are fucking so cool. I'm like, cool, man. Let me grab you. Let me get you paid. And he's like, you don't need to pay me. And I was like, no. He's like, no, this is your celebration. I was like, bro, that's fucking your blood and sweat. Like friends pay full price. And he's like, nope, this is this. And then, we had Ryan show up, Ryan Parsons show up, and what he fucking showed up with. I mean, I was like, what the fuck, dude? He has the Knights That Say Mead from fucking his shirt. And then he brought me a shrubbery. He literally brought me a shrubbery as a gift. Right?
Right.
And Markwart shows up with a fucking axe. And then Kevin shows up with an axe that he made and he skinned a buffalo with. And he put all the runes and shit. I was like, guys, like you're here, like your presence is the gift that I am humbled by, and now you're giving me another gift. I'm like, what the fuck? I
Yeah.
was just so confused, and I mean, I have to give this to the crew because I mean, yeah, I am retardedly driven. Like it's annoying. I'm sure it pisses everybody off most of the time about driving forward and like everybody's like, get your foot off the gas, and I'm like, all gas, no brake guy. Like we can swerve, and right. But I gotta give this to the crew. Like this wouldn't be here without them. It wouldn't. And my gift to the crew was their specific bottles. That's all I could do right now. But
Hmm.
um, for
But
me, that's
everybody had such a good time with it, though,
I
right?
hope that, yeah, and I hope that everybody appreciates it. Like, woof, like get in line for the bottom number, and here you go. And like, I'm sorry, but like, there is some stuff, and I just thought for a minute, like, just looking at people at the company, at the crew, and there's a photo that I took of all of us, or that I had taken for all of us that I haven't shared with everybody yet because it's kind of really fucking important to me, just to take for a minute. And it was it was the night on Saturday before the fucking bearded Viking club happened in
The Bearded Viking social.
yeah. And we had everybody there, and there was a couple people missing that I wish were there, but your wife is specifically that. But like it was crazy. And I kept get like people kept giving me these gifts and shit, and I was like, I don't deserve this. Like my guys do. Like that's the truth. Is like, yeah, I am fucking stubborn and I fucking work harder than life when life gets hard. That's just who I am, but that's who I surrounded myself with. That's no different. You're no different. Ryan's no different. Doc's no different. Um, the boat's no different. It's just our mentalities, our culture.
He's going to be so excited about a 3-hour podcast, too.
No, I can't fucking wait
He's going
for
to be
it.
so excited. He's been like itching.
It's like I
He
know.
felt
I
like
mean,
a piece of him was missing because we
yeah.
haven't podcasted in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. I literally was like, there's no fucking way that any of us are podcasting. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like, I got too much shit going on up here. You guys are prepping. You got baseball. By the way, when does baseball end? Out of curiosity, for like 6 weeks. Does it ends for like 6 weeks, right?
Next month, yeah, next month.
I got a crazy. Sorry, I keep looking at my hand. I just found a blood blister. I didn't even fucking know I had. Fucking cool. No, it's on the left hand. I don't even know how that
it was on the
happens.
left hand.
I don't left hand things.
It was from a misfire. It was a corking
Probably
misfire.
misfire, unload, choke, clear.
Up and down.
I felt like we had to like we should have literally done the fucking that video I sent to you with the 50, and they were lubing the 50.
Uh-huh.
We should have fucking done the same thing, but with the fucking sandy spray.
Oh man, it's not too late.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like when we talk about men's mental health, like we talk about things like fortitude, and we talk about drive, and we talk about the bearded Viking mantra of when life gets hard, get harder in life. My personal mantra is that, and then I also have a mantra of chase greatness. You can't be great unless you're willing to change to be great. And it was weird because like a few people, I don't know if they talked to you about this or not, but they're like they came up to me and they're like, that you've revolutionized mead. And I said, maybe, I don't know. And they were like, people I have never met ever. And they are mead connoisseurs, mead snobs for fucking coming up. And they were like, cool. And they were like,
there was people that were like hardcore mead heads.
Mm-hmm.
And
mead
were
maidens?
saying, yeah, that were saying, we're not drinking any other mead. We're just going to drink yours from now on, which was like just mind blowing because so many are opening up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've been trying them since way before we started. And they said, nope, we're here for this. And this is what we're drinking now. And
it was weird to me on that note, same note. There was a couple of people who were like, I've had so many meads, but your original mead is better than anybody else's original mead. And I was like, that's not me. That's the honey. That's the sunshine apiary.
That's the sunshine that's in that mead.
Mm-hmm. And they would talk to me and they're like, no, like it's, this mead, how old is this mead? They're like, this has got to be like a 5-year-old mead. And I was like, no, it's
Not telling.
I was like, it's 4.5 weeks old today. Today. Like, and they were like, no way. And I was like, yeah, dude, I literally pumped water in when it was from my truck to make that mead. We didn't even have running water when I made that.
Right.
I remember because I also made a mead geyser and had to fucking pump water in to mop said mead geyser.
Had to go back, fill up again, get more water just so you can mop and clean up.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much cleaning that's involved.
You wouldn't think it.
I bet you that in the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I bet you in 4 days we mopped like at least 80, 90 times.
Oh yeah, and how many times do you spray like the food safe sanitizer on you?
Oh, so many. I think it's still on my hands. I'm pretty sure it's still on my watch. My watch is still sterile.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Like just everybody embraced it. I said you have to do this, and everybody just did it. It was fucking nuts.
Yeah, there's no questions asked. It's because everybody wanted their jobs. Everybody wanted to do good at their jobs. And the last thing that anybody wanted was anybody that drank it to get sick because of something that we did.
Yeah.
Now, if you drink 2 bottles of it and get sick, that's on you.
Yeah.
But we'll be here when you need more. But, that was just those things that everybody embraced. Just everybody was sanitary.
Yeah. The idea is also from the crew. Like, it was crazy, right? So before we go past what you're saying, I want to do a shout out to like Donnie for being the fucking best bottle washer I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh,
that dude was fucking washing bottles like it was going out of style. I was like, were you a Lance Corporal in a ship somewhere?
Dude, seriously, he looked like he was in the Navy. He looked like
he was just fucking
the cook in the Navy.
Just fucking going left and right, crazy. I was like, what?
For as fast as we were bottling, he was washing bottles faster.
The crazy thing is how fast that little 6-bottle fucking pump thing cooks, man. It cooks.
It goes. Yeah, and for 2 people corking, getting through a whole rack and then another one coming right up. There was no breaks. There was no breaks at all.
No. And then, the boat being like, hey JT, you just coughed. You better spray some sanitizer already. Before I even reached for the shit, I was like, Johnny on the spot, dude. It's fucking dope. I was just like, all right, cool. And we only had one moment when I had to fucking like lay down law, and it wasn't even for us. It was for other people. And I think I made my point clear to everybody. Yes. I was like,
when everybody that was non-essential breathing the essential air evacuated the back of the meadery. Yes.
And I was like, get the fuck out. And like everybody that was part of it was like, it's not me. I'm gonna continue. I don't give a fuck. He's right.
We're working here.
Yeah. Like if you're not in the back, that was a fucking crazy part. And by the way, just so everybody knows, this is the first time that we've actually had a chance to fucking talk about this.
Right.
And
unwind, unload, reflect.
And we're literally in the middle of it, and we're talking about every aspect. The pillars of being a man, the fucking lack of technology. Like, nobody had their phone out the entire time. We were all fucking lifting heavy shit, Like, we were in it, like, elbows deep. Like, the whole idea of the fucking 1 ticket for 1 drink thing, that was fucking Doc's idea. That was a brilliant idea. That made it so easy.
Streamline the whole thing.
So...
Nobody asked questions. We're like, okay, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do. Okay, cool. Sounds great. Like we're doing Rio de Janeiro or whatever it is.
Rodizio, yeah.
Rodizio, not Rio de Janeiro.
That Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, Rodizio style, man.
I mix and match shit when I'm drinking.
Yeah, as well you should. No, it was really cool to see. It was fun to participate in, and nobody was afraid to. Spray the sani on their hands and get going, or lift a freaking case and move stuff. You know, the girls were incredible. All of this, every single bottle was hand labeled. Will continue to be hand labeled for a while. I mean, it was just kind of insane. Everybody just picked a job or got assigned a job and just did the job. And where there was slack that needed to be picked up, just picked up the slack. It was really based on the, you know, outside of the first 2 that you did, telling your story. So 48 episodes, all of these things that we've talked about, like the Pillars Man and all of these little nuances that we've gone through and talked about, really came to a head and came to fruition when we started working on it and bottling the meat and taking care of everything. So that was really cool to see. It was a moment when, at least in my mind, where we could sit back and, or where I could sit back and be like, okay, we weren't just blowing smoke. The whole team did it. And who knows who listens to the podcast and who doesn't, you know, as far as the team goes and across America. But the things that we were saying happened, and we lived by those things. And I think that's the most important thing when we're doing stuff like this, especially, or going on different shows or anything else, is living by what we're preaching. And we definitely lived by what we were preaching.
I think the culmination of that is also when Tito pulled us all aside, the face pulled us aside, and he coined us.
That was cool.
I mean,
that was legit.
I mean, yeah, that was pretty intense, man.
Yeah,
like,
that was
to me.
That was pretty freaking cool, dude.
Yeah,
it's gonna go on my I love me shelf for sure,
dude. I mean, I put mine in my I put my coin right next to my other coins, and I think that it's probably the most important coin that I've ever gotten. Like, it was pretty intense, and I think, like, every aspect, like, there was no missteps along the way. Like, the surprise for the fucking new polos, man. I fucking love my new polo. That shit's fucking fire.
That's all Nate. Nate bullied me, but he was right. Sometimes it takes a bully, right? You have to have bullies along the way.
Yeah. I mean, that's a real thing.
We don't have any uniforms? What?
Yeah. We're going to do it this way? I was like, okay.
Oh, shit. And then he's got a point there.
And then you called me up and we're going to do this thing. And I was like, all right, whatever, dude. Okay. I don't care. Because when you called me to tell me that, I was literally in the middle of trying to figure out how the fucking labeler was going to work versus not. With the actual label, like the label company, they took the labeler and they said, we got to figure out how to make this work for you, because hand rolling labels is bullshit.
Yeah.
And they rolled up and they were like, we can't make this work because we don't have it's not an American standard.
The device. Yeah.
The device is not an American standard, it's a Chinese standard. And we're like, oh, well, that's
shit.
Cool. Fuck my life a little bit. A lot, whatever. And then it was, all right, cool. So we'll figure it out. But he, like, you know, the way that I had it set up, it was golden. Like, and Tito was up there rolling too. Like, he was in the front. He wasn't in the back. He was up there fucking rolling fucking labels and QC and shit and fucking.
Like, we're gonna need to put like a handmade stamp on every single bottle, because there's not a portion other than the glass itself that was not handmade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, like, made in Montana, like, legit from the ground up, made in Montana. Like, it's a real thing. It's fucking wild when you see it, and it makes me probably think that most of the people inside of the organization actually do listen to the podcast. Not that they ever comment or tell us about it, because I think they just don't want to listen to us, or well, they probably don't
have to listen
to
us enough on the meetings, right?
Yeah, like, and that's fucking wild to me. Like, you know. And on that note, like, the drive and determination, and I don't know if it's just innate from everybody that we've brought on, or if it's like everybody sees the work that, you know, Nate's doing in his fucking like 24-hour drive up, and the work that Doc does when he comes up, or if it's I don't know if anybody actually thinks that I work, but whatever that is, that determination, that grit is now on full display for the public. And there's no doubt in my mind that we're bringing people on full time by September, at the latest.
Well, and the cool part was too is like the individual conversations that we got to have, just sidebars with guys. Just even I think Saturday night was a very special night, especially for the crew. Even though it was kind of impromptu, nobody even really expected it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was probably one of the most special nights I think that we've had. Just as a crew, as Bearded Viking, and everybody being in the same place at the same time, and everybody knowing what everybody else went through to make it happen, and then the side conversations that everybody had and the positivity. Because I think I got to talk to everybody just kind of one-on-one at some point during that night, and it was really cool. The feedback, the positivity, and just the amount of elation that everybody had that, hey, we fucking did this. We've been working, we've been talking on phone calls, we've been
I wish people could listen to the first 3 meetings that we had.
I don't. I don't.
I wish they could, and then they could see how professional we've gotten to, which people would say we're not professional, but I give a fuck about them. I really wish they could see the progression. And that's that grit. That's that when life gets hard, get harder than life kind of fucking mentality that we preach here and on this podcast. It's fucking wild to me. And we've gone a long way on this, but like that's like the biggest example of the Bearded Viking way that you can really like. It's the culmination of everything.
Yeah, one thing that I think is impressive too is, and I'm sure that, well, I guess I digress. I'm not sure, but I'm sure about us when it comes down to it is if you give somebody a sector of fire, they're taking on that sector of fire, and it's theirs, man. Like they have the fire plan sketch. They're doing what they need to do.
They're John Baslow's. There's John Baslone in that shit.
100%, dude. It was pretty cool to see.
No, for real, man. I just want to, say to everybody in the company and everybody who's supported us along the way. And if you guys don't know this, like if you met me in person, you'd probably be like, that dude ain't humble, because I'm just loud and obnoxious. This is who I am. But I am humbled, absolutely humbled.
I think
by the men that are serving alongside me. That's the fucking phrase that I know, and that's what I am humbled by. Not only the men, but the spouses that have their backs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The spousal support is insane, especially for all the bullshit and the travel and everything that goes on and the late nights and stuff that we have to miss.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I can't wait for for the 5-year like rewind and like to reflect on
our montage.
5 years. Yeah.
Our montage.
5-year
montage.
Because like I didn't mean to cut you off, but this is really important. I can't wait for that because so many people get lost in their end goal. They don't enjoy the journey. And there's been many nights that I didn't fucking enjoy this journey.
Well,
it made me who I am, and you too.
This is a night that we get to enjoy our own journey. This is our toot our own horn episode, right?
Mm-hmm. Toot toot, motherfucker.
Fuck yeah. I think it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We should do it again. We should have a grand opening every weekend from here on out.
Fuck off.
Okay, maybe not. I had to deal with a crying 5-year-old because I was missing a T-ball game, and that fucking ripped my heart out when I was leaving. That was rough.
I bet.
That was big time rough. I was like, don't worry, buddy. I'm not gonna miss any more. We're gonna be good, I promise.
Yeah.
After I looked at the schedule and I knew that I could complete this promise,
Yeah. it's an interesting path. I mean, it also, by the way, they have T-ball up here, just so you know.
Yeah, they do. They do.
And then the hunting's not as hard as you think it is. I'm just me.
I don't know. You make it seem pretty hard.
What don't I make seem hard?
That's fair. That's a fair comeback to that.
You're welcome. I'll be here all night,
ma'am.
Dude, I want to. I actually. This episode is so special to me, and I think it is to you. I mean, does it seem real yet? Has it, or is it surreal? Like today, when we got that photo of our mead on a shelf in a store.
That wasn't ours.
Not our store.
Not our shelf.
How fucking wild is that?
That's pretty damn cool.
Day 4.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a liquor store. Day 4.
Yeah, and it's going all over. It's gonna be all over Montana.
Oh, it's gonna be all over the country.
I just mean like in the next week, it's gonna be all over Montana.
Oh yeah.
It's not so much surreal anymore. For me, it's past the grand opening. Seeing shit like that is cool. It will always be cool seeing it on a new shelf and seeing it in a new place. Now for me, it's a totally different type of work. And now it's time to jump. We got to celebrate and have fun. But now we got a whole bunch of other hurdles that we got to jump. And now we have a little bit of an idea what we have to do. And
what the little idea is, if you could just send that to me in a bullet pointed email so I know what the fuck's going on, that'd be great.
You just keep making mead. I'll send boxes and I'll send materials and we'll get it into stores. That's the quick and skinny of it. But I just mean there's so much to do, especially now.
Yeah.
We've jumped that hurdle. Now there's a whole bunch of other shit that we have to do. And a whole bunch of learning curves that we're going to fucking jump right over the fucking barrier on and have to go back and figure out, right?
Yeah, we're going to miss the mark again and again and again. And that's
we will never have a failure to launch in our book.
So I was on the radio a couple times, and one of the radio hosts, his name's Leif. He's up here. He's on 98.5 or I don't know what the fucking radio station. I don't listen to radio. But people still listen to radio, which actually blew my mind. But when I was on it, he said the phrase of the day is fail forward.
Yeah. That's no shit.
So it's an interesting moment for me because I was on that and I was not expecting to get into I thought we were just going to promote. I was just going to promote the company.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, so Vico, how would you say that you failed forward? I'm like, every single fucking nail, every single screw, every single recipe that I came up with that I had to perfect, they had the ability to be great.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, okay. I'm like, what about in your personal life? I'm like, I fail forward all the time. I am a failure, and I'm okay because Tesla was a failure. Thomas Edison was a failure. Benjamin Franklin was a failure. Alexander the Great was a failure. And I always think about that. And it's this thought process that I have that you kind of understand it a little bit, but because you've seen how I just go. But fail. When you fail, it's okay to fail if you learn from your failure.
Yeah, and I think the important thing to realize too is
there's not enough whiskey left in my house.
Well, I have plenty here. I asked my wife actually when I was looking for the tequila, because for the longest time, I think we've lived in this house for 7 years, almost 8 years, something like that. I thought that we just were separating the liquor cabinet by lights and darks. And she goes, no, the tequila's over there. It's in your cabinet. I was like, are we getting a divorce? What's happening? I was like, I didn't know that we were separating our alcohol. And she goes, no, you idiot. I've been separating it by yours and mine over here the whole time. I was like, oh shit. And she's like, by the way, this JMO is mine, and put it in her cabinet. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, now I know. You know, we're still learning how to be grown-ups and trying to start a company at the same time. So for anybody out there that's trying to start a company, trying to do better, or just trying to grow up, you know, we're all still trying to do it. So
Yeah.
just I think that's a good piece of advice. Just fail forward and learn from it.
I will add one other piece to that. Don't try to get your master's degree in the middle of fucking a startup. I did it, but don't.
Lofty goals. Let's just add some more shit to the plate that we don't need to.
Dude, I thought I cleared my plate, man. I thought I cleared my plate.
No.
I was like, I don't have to do any fucking papers, and I don't have to take any tests, and I don't have to do. No. All that did was set me up for the next set of things.
Yeah, dude, you still had a half a steak and all your vegetables on that plate.
Yeah, it's cool because that steak's actually a full elephant. I don't know if you know this or not.
It's an elephant steak.
Yeah, I am through the toe of the elephant currently.
That scene out of The Great Outdoors where he's eating the steak. Remember that?
Yeah. Fucking great.
Solid John Candy reference.
Fucking yeah. That was right before the heart explosion.
Right before.
R.I.P. By the way, his greatest film was Uncle Buck.
This is a pretty good one.
Yeah. Dude, all right. So I kind of want to do a recap on this. I actually don't even want to stop talking about it, but I think the listeners need a break for a minute. There's so much that we've put into this: the blood, the sweat, the tears, the podcast, the failures, the hiring the wrong people, giving people carte blanche with your trust because you should at first, and then fucking not monitoring it because you trusted too much. You didn't, for the first little bit, trust but verify, so to speak, which is not a culture that I like, but you have to do that with unknowns. The fear of the unknown, the pillars of being a man, being a protector for those that you love, taking on the burden of carrying people. Like, this entire episode is the culmination of what it takes to be a man and men's mental health. Like, I could talk about it all day long. I could be here with you. We could do a 12-hour episode. We could Sean Ryan the fuck out of this and be here for 5 hours breaking it down.
Talk about the impacts of the good, the bad, the okay.
Yeah, I believe it's the ugly, and that's actually a Clint Eastwood reference, which is totally good.
Yeah, it was, but some of it was okay.
Honestly, when I look back at the journey that we went through, overall, I am a better person for it. I think you are too. I think everybody that's been part of it has been, and it's fucking wild to see our first opening weekend that we sold almost 700 bottles of mead in 3 days.
It's pretty neat.
That's fucking crazy. Dude, I had 3 people. I got to tell you this. I had 3 people today stop me in the grocery store when I was grabbing some grub while I was down in town. And they're like, hey, when are you going to be open next? I was like, Thursday? Why? I drank your bottles already. I'm like, and you're still alive? You walked out with a case. And they're like, my house is clean. I was like,
right. We told you that's going to be the warning on the label.
Yeah.
Your house might get clean.
Yeah. If you drink too much, your house might get clean. Like, it might be a little insert. If you do this, don't drive. Just let the effects happen, and you're probably going to have a clean house. Like,
you'll wake up and your house will be clean.
Yeah. Or you might put on a fucking, a bear rug coat and lay provocatively on a fucking pool table.
Hot. And it's also happened.
Lots of things have happened. But
that's cool, though. They came up into the store, or they saw you in the store, recognized, and said, hey, we got to get some more.
Yeah, dude, there's a point where I have to like draw the line with the bearded Viking legend, and it's like, are you him? And I'm like, I don't know what that means. Who is him?
Who?
You're the
Maybe.
you're the beard. The story of the bearded one.
Do I want to be the?
I was at the gas station. I'm like, are you him? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't know what that means. They're like, you're the bearded one. I'm like, well, I have a beard, so yeah, probably. And they're like, yeah, you're Vico. You're the bearded Viking. I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. Yeah. Hi.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Am I him?
You're him.
No, I am not him. You guys are. You guys
are
are
hims. Your face is on the flag. You're him.
That's fair. But that's because Rudy does good artwork. That's one reason why.
It's a solid depiction. At least, people will recognize.
It's weird, man. Super weird. And I think that everything about this launch is a tribute to everybody besides me. I just had the vision, and like you said, I'm too dumb to fail.
Blood, sweat, and whiskey.
Blood, sweat, and mead, bro.
Well, now.
I just drink a mead. Think I fucking gave you guys all the mead? Fuck off.
Should we take a break?
Let's take a break, man. We'll be right back after this. These commercials or something. I don't know. Somebody's gonna interject something.
I don't know. I hope there's a commercial. Do like a bearded Viking commercial.
Fuck yeah. Like something. the one that I did on the Talks.
I don't know. Any of them. I'm sure that Boat will be more than happy to find us a commercial to insert.
I'll even do the voiceover. I before we go to the break, I did a commercial on the TikToks, right? And the AI generated the majority of it, and it fucked up Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. So it said, so if you're a Viking, Cowboy, or Outlaw, and I couldn't read it, so it gave me a script to read, and I was like, I tried it like 6 times. I was like, that's not how that works. It's Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys.
It rolls off the tongue.
I just literally said, fuck you, man. Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. So anyway, we're going to be right back after this real quick break. And... Sound clap.
And we're back.
We're back. What'd you bring? What'd you get?
I had to shift gears a little bit.
Oh, you went to whiskey.
So I got some of Montana's own bourbon.
You're doing the mix and match here. How many of those? How many of those did you buy?
I bought 2, but the bottle that I had on Saturday for our Bearded Viking social.
I believe it's called a soiree.
Soiree social. I gave it to Nick.
Fuck yeah.
So he I gave him he had a couple tastes, and he said he liked it, so I sent it home with him.
Good. I think the next portion, actually, I want to, before we jump into paranormal kind of shit, I actually want to talk about the meetup. We talk about meetups all the time. We haven't even talked about the meetup with the people.
The actual meetup.
The actual meetup.
Uh-huh.
Because how long it had been 16 years to the day since you guys saw each other?
Yeah, almost to the day. He left on my birthday.
Birthday
tomorrow.
Happy birthday,
dude, unless you have
Mr.
a cake
Bougie One.
and you have a man thong, I don't want it.
Don't tempt me.
But yeah, it was 16 years almost to the day since we saw each other last in Okinawa, the day that he left Okinawa. And like the dumbest part of it is he was stationed over on Main Side and I was stationed on Mateo. For whatever reason, we just didn't hook up. I had no idea. So I had a year left on island when he pieced out. So yeah, we just never hooked up. I don't know. Marine Corps moves fast, right?
It does actually. It's so weird because I don't know how often you reconnect with friends from the Corps.
In person, never. Because it seems like I'd say, I'm trying to think, everybody for the most part that I was stationed in places with is on the East Coast, at least Okinawa anyway. Yeah. A couple of people that I was stationed with in Pendleton and went all over the world with, they're kind of scattered around everywhere. And so really in person, that's the first person that I've hung out with, love, touch, and feel in a very long time. The other was when I went back to Virginia for one of my buddy's weddings. My roommate that I was in his wedding. That was 8 years ago, I think.
Was that the other guy you guys were talking about?
It's Blanca, yeah.
Yeah, Blanca.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and it was funny because, for a minute while we were, corking and moving boxes and stuff, I was like, dude, what my favorite car, one of my favorite cars still to this day is? And he's like, what? I was like, the 94 Celica. Because I actually bought his car off him when he was leaving Island.
Oh, that makes sense.
I was like, that was probably like some of the best $800s that I've spent ever. That's so much fun in that car.
It is fucking wild because we talk about the art of a meetup all the time. The art of a meetup is really what we just did. Like, it really is. That's what it is. It's everything that we did. We brought fucking people together. We had a campfire. We had mead. We greased the wheels with people as far as they opened up to us. They talked to us. They asked me, like, what got you started. I don't know how many conversations you had that were actually personal conversations, not fucking light level conversations with people you've never met before. Like, it was weird. It was fucking.
I got to talk to more people on Saturday just because it wasn't
chaos.
So wild after the first couple hours. Mm-hmm. Me and One Horse were able to kind of go around and talk and mingle with people, and still got to hear like a lot of really cool stories. And then I had the was it the Billings Gazette or something I did an interview for?
Yeah, the black-haired gal?
Yeah.
The short black-haired gal?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm. Yeah, so and I did like a 30-minute interview with her, and that was cool.
What was that? That was your like first real full interview, right?
For like a newspaper, yeah, for sure. So it was cool, and she's definite opportunist, and I applaud her for it because we had the mead door open, and she wanted to kind of take a peek back there before, but it was so chaotic. I was like, get with us later, or maybe like another day, and we can take you back there and you can see what it's all about. And the door was open and things had kind of slowed down. And I'd actually taken my food into the tasting room to just kind of eat in the corner for a minute. And she's like, oh, the door's open. Can I go back there? and Jess and Dana were like, talk to that guy over there in the corner. I was like, what? What did I do? And she's like, "Can we go back there?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it's calmed down quite a bit now." I was like, "You can go back there and you can look at it and take a picture and see how, this whole thing works." And so she was really cool. Went back and kind of saw a picture of how we were doing the serving for the day, and then we did like a 30-minute interview. I don't know how it'll turn out.
Yeah,
but
she interviewed me for like an hour and a half, and I was like, "Man, you got a lot of good questions."
She really did have a lot of good questions. I was like, "Man, you're really good at your job."
Yeah, she was like, so it was weird because Gail and her were tag teaming me with questions, and I was like, I can't this rapid fire session.
I can't do this. I can't focus.
I'm not a smart man, Jenny, but I know what questions are. All right.
No, it's funny. I think the questions that she wasn't able to ask with you, she asked me.
Good.
Just about the process and how it got started and everything, and just about the veterans and the culture that we were trying to build and everything, which was really cool. She got kind of down into the nitty gritty of, why the hell are you guys doing this? Like, what's the importance of this to you guys? It's like, well, it's not just selling booze. We want to do that. We'd love to do that. But the culture that we're building around it is more important in a lot of aspects than actually selling the booze, whether you drink it or not. And just kind of filled her in a little bit about the podcast and stuff, because I wasn't sure if you had mentioned anything about that. So it was actually kind of cool. So she probably got a little bit different angle from me than
awesome.
She probably got from you. So we'll see.
I love the fact that her husband got fucking sideways lit on 3 glasses.
It was awesome.
He would come up, he's like, "Man, I love what you're doing here," and he was like emotional, gave me this big hug, and he's like, "Dude, this is absolutely wonderful. We're gonna be back when she's not being a reporter. We just want to hang out and fucking chat with everybody by the fire."
I got a lot of that from people that camp, just kind of kitty corner from the meadery.
Yeah. Okay, over at HKP.
They're like, "This is perfect after a long day of fishing and playing on the river. We're just gonna come and hang out." I'm like, yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're your guys.
You're like, don't stop by after that. There's the hooches in the stores. Like, go help out the stores. Go to the bars.
Right.
It's like, yeah.
Exactly.
Like, it was cool because it was literally a meetup. It was the world's largest meetup as far as I've seen. Like, specific to bringing people together to drink mead, to talk about things, to be around a fire. And I think that that's really, really important for people to understand that we, as a tribe, have spread that fire.
Yeah, it was probably pretty funny for some too, because when they would ask like, "Oh, who's doing this or who's doing that," somebody would be like, "Oh, just find one of these guys with beards. They'll tell you all about it or tell you what's going on. Just find somebody with a beard." Like, okay, that checks out. That works. And it was true. And even Charlie was working on his beard. But no, it was pretty funny, because they're like, "Just find one of the bearded guys. They're running the place." And the fact that all of us took time to stop and talk to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
When we had a chance, and Charlie and I got to talk to everybody, right, coming in the door, and then being able to have, the crew members and you walking around, being able to talk to them a little bit more in depth and give them some more insight on why the fuck we're even doing this. Yeah. I think that was really cool. It was kind of the personability aspect of what we do and building the tribe, not pushing anybody away, but showing each and every single one of them individually that they're important to us and that we want them to come back and we want them to be part of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Even the guys from Helena had great conversations with those guys and I didn't even realize that you had met them prior at the meet and read.
Oh yeah.
Which was really cool.
By the way, I want to let you know, those bottles that didn't make it overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't.
Why is that?
They weren't good.
They were gasoline?
Dude, there's two that were good. There was one of the mead mosas, and then there was one of the cranberries that were good. And then it was just like, oh, this is the old way. This hasn't aged long
This is
enough.
the old way, yeah.
This is the before I figured out the path, before I found my path to walk.
We definitely have to get in touch with those guys and remedy that situation, because I felt terrible that didn't actually make it.
Oh yeah.
Even if it wasn't, even if some of the bottles were from the old way, I think we were trying to make a little bit of magic happen where, the world isn't so magical.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's worth reaching out and getting those guys some.
Oh, I already talked to him, by the way, just so you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's
Awesome.
back. He's back. He's in Billings.
That's good.
So from my perspective, the meetup was crazy because, like, I don't think there was a moment on Friday or Saturday, even on Friday or Saturday, where I wasn't pulled into a conversation by somebody. I felt like you guys were all 2-year-olds just fucking saying, Dad, 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 just pulling me to different fucking people. JT, what about this? What about that? I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. And then people started. It was good though. It was really good.
That's the importance of it, right? Because you're the face,
mm-hmm.
The founder and the person that's there, right, all the time, and they want to be able to have a conversation and some sort of relationship with you. And
mm-hmm.
I think that's important, because I think a lot of that's lost on people nowadays, especially when it's like, oh yeah, that's the owner of the company. And you don't want people to be like, that guy's a dick, or I'm too afraid to talk to him. He might not like me, or something like that, which is, it's odd, but it's true in a lot of cases. So I think that was important, especially, those days for the grand opening, that people got a little piece of Vico wandering around, and that you got to hear their story and they got to ask you about yours. And I think that itself will just, that'll be important. I think it is important to people, and that relationship building, I think, is what's going to keep moving us forward and taking us to the next level, is knowing that, hey, they're just regular guys. You could go talk to them.
Say it the right way. They're dudes doing dude shit.
100%. They're veterans doing veteran shit. Fuck, when Parsons showed up with a bag of fucking crayons for me, I about fucking died. I was talking to somebody and he slipped something in my pocket, in my hoodie pocket. And
what color did you get?
I got green. And I told him, I went back later. I was like, you ignorant dick. I was like, that red is my favorite flavor. He's like, damn it, I thought red was your favorite flavor, because it was mine too.
Dude, but he did the same thing to me. He rolls up and he rolled up and he was like, so here's your shrubbery. I brought you a shrubbery. We're the Knights that say mead, which needs to be some swag. So you don't get it. You don't watch funny things. It's fine.
Whatever.
And then he's like, oh, and by the way, and he fucking pulls out this fucking montage of orange Crayola crayons of different flavors of orange. And I was like, fuck, bro, I'm hungry, man. I haven't eaten yet.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm going to need these to refuel. Yeah. And, there were some Marines at the door, and it worked out as a total party gift the whole time. I was like, dude, I got my crayons. Like, I mathed wrong one time, and I was like, sorry, guys, I got to have a crayon, giving change back and shit like that. It was just funny, and stuff like that is people don't think about, but that shit is hilarious to us.
But that's the art of a meetup, right? So what do we talk about on this podcast? What is the most important thing? It's being together with your tribe, your people.
Oh yeah.
Right? That was the fucking thing, dude. Like even more important to me than the mead going, and the honey's flowing, and like people's wheels are getting greased. They're talking to each other. They're talking to us, but they were talking to each other. People who had never met each other. They were forced to sit around a fire and just bullshit.
And
Yeah,
bullshit,
they had their
yeah.
clicks. They had their clicks. But
Yeah, the people they came with, but everybody always, in every case, those Friday, Saturday at least, while we were there, started talking to random people and started talking to each other, just about whatever, didn't matter.
yeah,
And they had a good time.
I mean, there's so many times when I sat down, I was like, I'd be talking, and I'd say something that is me, and they'd fucking start laughing or whatever, and I'd be like, you guys thought that shit was funny? You guys should fucking talk back and forth to each other. What questions you got? What questions you got? Like, what do you want to know? I'll tell you what I can tell you. You know. And so many people were like, how do you make meat? And I was like, well, it's fucking simple. I'm not gonna tell you my process because I want you to come back. But
Go on
if you
YouTube.
want to make fucking, if you want to go to YouTube University, it's really 3 pounds of honey, 1 gallon of water, and some yeast, and you shake it like it's a baby, which apparently you can't say. So I said,
yeah.
shake it like your mama owes you money or whatever. You shake it like you, and then they would all laugh or whatever, and then they'd be like, then I'd leave and I'd come back and they'd be in this like great conversation. Where are you from? Who are you? What, like, I've never met you before. Why are you here? You're not part of the community. Why don't you come out? Oh, because I'm from out of state and I just don't feel welcome. Well, you're welcome here. That's fucking crazy.
And it's like the adage that we've been saying forever, kind of that energy meets energy.
Yeah.
And with kind of the way we were putting it out there to everybody and the way we're, being ambassadors, not just for our brand, but for them and each other. Yeah. I think as long as we are part of this and going forward, that's the energy that meets the energy, and everybody will, I think, meet that. And I think that happened a lot too, is people that have recently moved here or recently moved there that didn't so much feel like they're part of the community. I think that might give them a foothold into the community to meet people. And we met some nice people out in town that we had never talked to before. Corey, one of the owners of the diner that we had breakfast at.
Oh,
had
yeah.
a great conversation with her, and she was so excited to come down and hang out. And I got bacon for a t-shirt, so I got bacon and gave her a t-shirt and everything. But it was just funny, just that community. And she was curious about all of us because she had only met you, but she found out, holy shit, there's a whole bunch more of them, because, she came at the up to us at the diner, taking an order and everything. And she goes, oh, you're wearing one of JT's shirts. I was like, nah, I'm wearing one of my shirts. And she goes, what? And, explained it to her that basically everybody at the table was an owner, and that it was our mead company. She goes, oh, okay, I get it now. And then told her about the veteran aspect and just how it all kind of rolled out from my perspective, because she had talked to you, obviously, and she knows you through going through the diner and just being part of the community. So that was kind of cool, just meeting the other people around. And
Corey and Matt
talking to the shop owners.
Fucking awesome, dude. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta go. When they were finally leaving, it was funny.
Yeah. And then the owner, Terry, and his wife, I forgot her name, from Stillwater Lumber, dude, they fucking come out too, and they were like, I have never met any of these people before.
And that's wild.
They're a staple of they're a staple of the community. And I was like, holy shit. And Terry was like, well, Matt gave me a $20 tip that I gave to the girls, and then Terry gave me a $20 tip, and I was like, stop it. Like, give it to them, man. I'm holding on to hope that I get paid one day. Like, this is for them. They're working for fucking free, man. Like, and it was so cool just to see the true meetup. Like, the phrase that I coined a long time ago and that we emulate is spreading. It's like that thing that, when all you need is a spark.
Is that like soaking?
No.
Or durfing?
No. Not close. It's actually sex. It's actually sex.
Oh.
This sex is on fire because of the spark.
Oh, right. Just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, there's no water involved. Or not water. There's no carbohydrates.
Bone water.
There's no bone water. There's definitely no protein here.
None.
None.
Vitamins and minerals.
I mean, there might be some vitamin D. Definitely vitamin T. Bear Grylls, shout out.
Definitely.
It was fucking awesome, man. And you know, the weird thing for me was normally when we're at meetups and stuff like that, when we do like when we were doing the ones that we didn't actually have mead at the meetups because we couldn't.
Right.
It was like the boat he was in it like fucking arms and elbows deep, but he was so on point. Like, hey, bitch, you can't leave.
Oh yeah, he was a bird dog.
He was like bird dog and motherfucker. I was like, bro, I'm gonna change your name to fucking Hella, you crazy ass.
Bird dog. He was too.
He was great.
I saw him shoot across the corral one time from like end to end to go stop somebody from taking their drink out. That was going to the head, and I was like, holy shit, he was moving quick.
I mean,
he was on point.
Yeah.
He had a lip pillow in, and he was ready to go.
He was like, I'm fucking gold, bro. This is great.
He was having a good time.
He was definitely having a good time. I think he enjoyed having the back because he could chain smoke like a motherfucker and have his lip Nicky. And I was just like, all right, cool. And I'm like, he didn't even hit on one fat chick.
Not even one. I don't even know if there was any that came.
No, not his. Well, no, there was. They were all dressed in furs, so I think he was a little intimidated by that.
He was, but they already had their guys, you know.
That's not stopped him ever. So I'm
that's
not
true.
even.
If we give him some furs next time, he might be a little more adventurous if he's not working.
Oh, that motherfucker's got to earn his furs. He's got to take him himself.
Earn his furs.
He ain't got to fucking do shit. He ain't getting shit for free, bro. It was cool though because then we had that, and then we had the bonfire. By the way, was that the biggest bonfire you've ever been part of? Regardless, I don't know how many bonfires I've been. That was fucking crazy.
I mean, it was a whole fucking tree. So yeah, it was definitely.
It was like 15 trees, but that yes.
It was not small, and it smoldered for like 3 days.
Oh, it caught on fire when it was raining again.
Nice.
Yeah, no, sort of, but yes. At the same time, because I was like, burn that shit down. But at the same time, it caught back on fire, and it was a no burn day. So I was like, oh god, the fire department's gonna come back out again.
That was pretty funny when the fire department came.
Yeah. So that was really cool. I think that was the after party for everybody was pretty epic because we just got to fucking sit around and do the most American fucking kind of thing you can do for a fucking meetup. We had little fires going, and then we had the fire going.
Oh yeah, and Dusty busted out the guitar and did some impromptu.
Motherfucker pulled out a fucking kitchen like stool and rolled up. He's like, dude. I was like, where the fuck did this come from? He's like, I just keep it in the back of the truck in case I want to pick it.
I just carry it in case I'm at a big bonfire at a meadery. Need to sing some songs.
About the Heartland. It's the only place I feel at home.
See what you did there.
I did. Some Strait. If you guys don't like George Strait, fuck off.
The old troubadour.
Yeah. Dude, it was fucking crazy, man. The only thing that I think that the only moment for me that was like, oh, was when they're like, JT, we want to get you a video of you fucking lighting the fire. You dumped all that diesel on, and I tossed it. I fucking barely tossed it.
You fucking hucked it, dude. Like you were gonna run, and it went all the way to the other side. I have it on camera.
Oh,
I was taking a video.
I need the video. I need the video. Fucking bloopers. Fine. And then even when I just like lofted it, it was like, yeah. I was like, I walked up, and there was like all these gals that were standing there. They were like 30s and 40s and shit. I was like, God, that was like the first time I had sex. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah, it was like super exciting for about 20 seconds, and then it was over.
Yeah, because you were walking back up. I was like, don't worry, ladies, it didn't get any better either. Yeah. And it was good.
It was fucking funny as shit. I just laughed so fucking hard because I Like it was like, JT, you need to do this. You know, Vico, you need to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. And I was like, okay, just light the fire. I don't.
Oh, and I finally got to hang out with John too at the fire. I
Yeah,
had only got to talk to him for like a couple of minutes all damn day, and then finally at the campfire I got to bullshit with John, and that was fun because I hadn't talked to him all day, and he traveled all the way up from Utah also, and
there's
you
a
know,
bunch of fucking people who traveled up, and I was
yeah,
like,
I was
wow.
like, and he already hates road trips and just driving in general, and he made the trip up, man. I'm sure he was a nervous wreck, but I was so glad to see him too. That
Dude,
that made me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
John was talking to the sheriffs. They're understaffed, and he's like, "We're moving up here. I've already talked to my wife. We're not going back." He's moving to Absorky. I was like, "Fucking rad, bro. That's fucking awesome." It was the most epic because like you had this culmination of all these great humans,
It was a lot of fun,
and
definitely.
it was just in the same place, and it was. I mean,
I was
when we
so
talked,
excited too when I found my cigars in my truck because I thought I left them in the room, and I was
mm,
really fucking mad at myself because I left my pipe there too. And then I go to my truck and I was like, I do love me. I remembered they're in my door.
that's fucking awesome. Dude, I mean, I don't think me and you actually fucking hung out at all the whole weekend, dude.
Not
Other
at
than when
all.
we were fucking corking, man.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
like,
our moment.
cool. And I mean, it was nuts, man. Kept getting pulled aside and I don't know. I, for everybody who knows who listens to the podcast, like, I can talk a lot. Like, if you've met me, you know that I can keep
No,
talking.
no,
You shut your whore mouth.
no.
Whore. After Friday, I was like, I just want to go home and sleep and just like duct tape my mouth shut for a minute.
My jaw hurts from
I
all the
was so
jawing that I
tired.
did.
He, it was crazy. The thing that was really cool though, it was different than like the Laurel Brew Fest when we did the Brew Fest for the meet up there
Hmm.
because it was ours.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a lot of people that were at that brew fest that showed up too.
Yeah,
I don't know if
they've
you knew
been.
that or not, but
Yeah, I got told they're like, yeah, we had your mead like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh yeah, and you remember it? I'm
that's
like, I
good.
don't remember fucking Tuesday.
That was pretty cool. When they were like, "Oh yeah, we were here. We were in Laurel." I was like, "Oh shit, I remember. I remember it well."
Yeah. So there's a lot of cool things. Before we move on to the paranormal stuff, I do want to just do something real quick. So we're going to have a Bearded Viking events calendar up. So we have to start off in Montana because obviously we're here. So there is a lot of events coming up. The next event that we're actually going to be part of is the Stillwater Brew Fest, which is on June 15th. Which is super cool. And then we're working on actually being part of the hill climb, which is much like do you remember the Widowmaker that
That
was out there?
sounds full octane. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do remember that. Built fucking
So
houses there now. Ruined the whole
80,000
thing.
80,000 people go through there in 3 days. We'll
Holy
be
shit.
there. Yeah. So that's going to be a thing that I'm going to actually, yeah, you're going to have to come up for that because I can't do that.
The full octane.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like it's going to be good for you. And then Doc's gonna be up there and then he's gonna be like, I can do that. And then we're gonna be down a member because he rolled it down the mountainside. It's fine, whatever. But like,
He'll catch on fire before he starts up
uh,
the hill.
I mean, he does have a Polaris. That's just what that is.
Yeah. I wonder how his fire suppression system is on this one.
I bet you he doesn't have one because it didn't work last time. Why would you buy one that doesn't work?
Fuck it. That checks out.
There is a piece to that actually is. Did you buy it on Facebook Marketplace? Because like my experience with stuff that you bought for the meadery on Facebook Marketplace costs like 47 times more than it should.
And it may or may not work.
And I'm no archaeologist or anything, but I actually
No.
like checks out.
Yeah, you should put that shovel away, guy.
Oh, dude. So we have some major events coming up. Go to the website. If you guys are in a state that you can order mead, if you want to order mead, great. If you don't, that's fine too. If you guys are just here for the podcast, we are in on that. We don't care if you're sober, or if you like meat, or if you don't like meat, or if you even don't like our product, but you like what our message. Go to the website. Hit that newsletter, because the newsletter gives you the info of what we're doing for the month, typically, in general. This month's newsletter is behind a little bit because we wanted to make sure we got some fucking killer photos.
We captured the fun. And there's go ahead, finish.
I was just saying, and there was just a whole shitload going on. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we're behind on podcasts and newsletters, but there is going to be some new swag coming to town too. If you were at the meadery and you were at the grand opening, you know that pretty much everything's gone. That's why it is off the website. So what's left, if you want it and you're in the Columbus area, go snatch up what's left. And there's new stuff coming soon. And it will be back on the website.
Well, I mean, by the time we get that stuff up here and everything else, it's going to be a different moment. And then we're going to have some cool designs. There's definitely going to be a Sasquatch.
Maybe.
With dreadlocks? No, maybe. Definitely.
We'll see.
I'll decide.
We'll see.
My favorite thing. Look for the Sasquatch doing the Iwo Jima planting of the American flag for our flagpole. For our flagpole.
I veto.
It'll be
Sasquatch.
Oh man, it's gonna be a Sasquatch wearing some dress blue shit with the.
It'll be very, very classy.
Very classy. Well done. Not flipping people off. Maybe.
A classy squatch.
Yeah. A class squatch.
I hate you.
You love me.
I need more whiskey for you.
That's fair. Let's jump into some paranormal shit real quick.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, we got like 20 minutes, maybe 30.
We got a little bit of time.
So on tonight's episode, we're going to talk about something that I'm not really quite sure would exist or could exist, but I think that the pandemic proved that it could exist. Also, bath salts. We're talking about
bath salts.
Zombies. I want to start off. I want to lead into this with, for an apocalypse, a global issue.
Mm-hmm.
The COVID monster was the most lame fucking monster ever, bro. Like
it was pretty lame. It was pretty lame.
I just got locked in my house for like 19 months, and you said it was 2 weeks. Fuck you, Fed.
The fuck were we doing out there? I didn't actually get locked in anywhere. I just kind of. I just did whatever the fuck I wanted.
Neither did I.
Then I was just too scary looking for anybody to really fuck with me about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I had one guy at a Maverick try and fuck with me. And then he also rang up my beer and all the stuff that I was buying. And then continued to talk shit as I was walking out. That was about as intense as it got. And we're buddies now.
I just can't during the pandemic I just was like, I can't human anymore because you guys are fucking stupid.
Yeah. It was like the mask thing. That was the dumbest shit ever. Dude,
for real. And that I wanted werewolves or vampires or fucking zombies.
I'm thinking now that's how you know who was going to die first in a zombie apocalypse was the people that were just like glued to their masks. They were so dead. They're the first ones to go.
The masks with the gloves while you're driving in a car alone. I was like,
that was good.
Yeah, in a Prius that says coexist. Like you have the fucking, it's the quadfecta.
Yeah, I wish that their dads would have worn condoms. But
I mean, it's fine.
Still zombies, right?
Zombies, dude. So let's start off with, we have had instances in real life where there are zombie-like humans. Florida, Nick, you can expand on this. Nick Abner, you can expand on this. You're a Florida guy. Florida man. Yeah. Nick's Florida man.
I don't know why he hasn't changed his handle to Florida man.
Because it's been taken by actual Florida man guy.
That checks out.
Yeah, I mean that was probably the first. Somebody was like, but like the instance that was in Florida, and the guy the dude fucking ate bath salts and then started running down the street
Biting people like
and
ape shit.
eating their flesh. I was like,
Oh,
it's
here we go.
begun. Here we
Oh,
go.
it is happening.
We're
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, and like the news, I feel like if a zombie apocalypse really broke out, that they would wait a month to actually report on it. They would wait until there was nobody to actually read the news or watch the news to report on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so you have shows like Walking Dead, and those zombies. I hope it's like those zombies if a zombie apocalypse breaks out. Because if it's like World War Z zombies or 28 Days Later zombies, we are fucked.
Dude, World War Z zombies. Yeah, fuck that bullshit. I actually want Shaun of the Dead zombies.
Shaun of the Dead zombies would be legit.
Just
To the Winchester.
To the Winchester. Just go. I mean,
So
that would be the best zombies because I would have so much fun, dude.
that would
put
like
a silencer on it.
Best case scenario on a zombie apocalypse, Shaun of the Dead zombies.
Worst case scenario, World War Z zombies. And or World War Z zombies slash what was it with Will Smith? What's fucking show where his dog gets fucked up and he's the last one? What is it called? What the fuck?
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Wait, question. Timeout. Pause. In I Am Legend, they were portrayed as zombies, but in the book they were vampires.
I think they're more vampires than zombies.
And then also at the same
but
time,
they had feelings.
But at the same time, by the way, did you know that there were 3 endings to I Am Legend?
Yeah, I've seen 2 of them. No, actually, I've seen all 3 of them.
I've never found the third one.
The third one is the one that makes sense. I mean, because obviously at the end of the movie, they broke into his house because the one zombie was pissed that Will Smith took his girlfriend.
Yeah. And cured her or whatever.
Yeah. And that kind of set a precedence, right? That they're not dumb. They're just, vampire-y.
Hungry.
Yeah, but I don't even think they ate anybody in that movie because everybody was like, they were just trying to turn everybody, right?
Maybe. No, I think they did eat people.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
It might be time to rewatch it, and I'm gonna finally get the third one and be like, oh, okay, fuck you, bro.
I started watching World War Z, and so I was listening to this audiobook, and I forget the name of it. It's I think the book is just called Zombie Apocalypse or something like that.
Solid.
And yeah, I mean, and it's an audiobook. It's like 7 hours. So I'm listening to this audiobook, and you know how like there's always somebody that gets infected early on, but they don't die.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that new one where it has to do with mushrooms, not mushrooms, but oh shit, I'm blanking the name. It's not psilocybin. It's but it has to do with like fungus, right? It's the one that the dude who plays the Mandalorian's in. It's on HBO. Shit, I gotta look it up now. Anyway.
Okay, do it.
But so I'm watching this thing, and it's like, or I'm listening to this book, and it's talking about how it's a virus, and some people recover from it, but some people don't. But it presents as like a respiratory virus. So I'm sure this book was written during the COVID shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Oh, The Last of Us. That's what it is.
The Last of Us. Okay.
The Last of Us. Have you seen that yet?
No.
It's pretty neat. You should check it out. But in any case, it was talking about a virus. It was going around. And it wasn't like World War Z zombies where as soon as they get bit, they transform and go crazy. Okay. Or like 28 days later where they're fast as fuck too. Like even the fat guys are running fast. And I mean, nobody has a chance unless you're a fucking track star with any of those. Right. But those two, The Last of Us and the book that I'm listening to, it's a virus, right? Mm-hmm. And it sounds like, you know, these zombies are kind of fast runners and stuff in the book, but at the same time, they're not Usain Bolt fast. So Olympic track star, lots of gold medals.
No, I'm trying to think. So they're like medium fucking white guy fast.
They're like yeah, exactly.
They're average fast.
Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, but it affects it affects them different. Like some are kind of lethargic and like smart-ish, mm-hmm. And then others are just like, I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Fast as fuck, boy.
But you can still outrun them. And you know, some people, it basically follows this chick that was sick, and she was in one of the sick camps or whatever, and that was set up
like a COVID camp, like
kind of like a COVID camp,
like the New Zealanders, the Kiwis.
Yeah, like all of her friends died, and she like watched all of her friends die in this camp, and then she recovers, and this is over a course of like a week or two, and she wakes up, and there's zombies, these things, right?
Okay.
And so they're trying to go around and figure out what the hell happened. And of course it's in North Carolina, right? It's in Charlotte. Which, yeah. Imagine
so
that.
Weird.
But like they like firebomb the city and shit like that, and people are getting away from zombies and everything. But those are viruses, right? Mm-hmm. That in both. The Last of Us, it's by like the mushrooms and stuff. And funguses that get into the spores that get into people. And then this other one, the book, is a virus. So something like that, that's like slow. And then all of a sudden people die and then they wake up. That shit's scary. But it's like manageable for country folk. If you're living in the city, you're fucked.
Well, I mean, there's a whole lot to that too. Like, I don't know if it's even paranormal, really. Like, think about this, right? So, if you like define a zombie, mindless wandering with no fucking understanding of what's going on around you. Technology's kind of made most people that anyways.
So,
except for the meadery.
Well, so I'm wondering.
Maybe they just get really. Sorry, let me just finish this real quick. I got something to say. So maybe they're just mindlessly wandering.
Got something to say.
Because I'll fucking forget. Maybe they're just mindlessly wandering because they've been staring at their phone for fucking too long, and they just are in a place where they get to that "I'm so hungry, long pig sounds good" state, and they that's what they do. Maybe we're already here.
So like a euphemism.
Yeah, maybe like zombies is just like a metaphor for like cell phone and fucking social media.
Maybe, but it very well could be.
But
because I know that you zombie out to that shit.
I mean, all of us do. Like, I don't know anybody like the old dudes who don't fucking like know how to use their phone. Who like so many times when they came over and they were hanging out on Sunday when it was just like 40 or 50 people, they were like, I love this because I'm not on my phone. I'm like, yeah, but like, I mean, as soon as you go take a shit, you're gonna be on your phone for like 30 minutes. Just
I'm not in a porta shitter because you're doing it and getting out of there.
No, man, it was warm in there. It was fucking like 38 degrees when it was raining.
that is the wrong kind of warm that I want to be.
Warm is warm, bro.
It was refreshing to see, and I'm sure that some of the older crowd that came in thought that it was probably refreshing to see that there wasn't just a bunch of young people on their phones.
Yeah, all the young people were talking. They were not zombies.
No.
Like, oh, Did we create the cure?
Maybe.
Are we curists?
We might have the viral cure.
Fucking hail science.
The zombie apocalypse. Now they just have
hail
to get
science.
their mead fix. You're cured.
Yeah.
No, it's just funny because it's kind of, as you would say, a duality with the zombie movies and kind of technology and everything that's going on today. Because I think the people that are in the city on their phones, dude, they're so done. So done. I think that COVID was a nice little glimpse into what the fuck is really going to happen, because people were trying to get out of the fucking cities because there's too many people around me. I got to get out of here. And how many people moved to the country? How many people moved to Montana? You know what I mean? It was a fun little experiment that they did on us. And I really don't think that it worked out in their favor.
No, I think people are just biding their time. So now they're anti-zombie.
I think they're anti-zombie now.
I think they're anti-zombie. But okay, so we digressed. I took you down a rabbit hole.
We did digress a little bit, but you know what freaks me out though? Still,
bath salts.
Bath salts are terrifying.
Ladyboy.
Especially if you eat them. Those are less terrifying because you can get away from them.
Yeah, you could totally get away with them. Okay, Rudy.
No, so I think that is appealing is, some of the medications that are out on the market now. Mm-hmm. I think people are thinking twice about going and getting anything that has to do with Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson or whatever the fuck else on it. Mm-hmm. Especially after our mini little zombie apocalypse called COVID, which I'm not going to say that good things didn't come from COVID, because this whole thing is built off of COVID, because it just was. And we've talked about it with Mike too. So many people and so many characters would not be on the internet right now without it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of good came from it, but a lot of bad came from it in the fact that people are not, well, I guess not bad, but another good thing that came from it is people aren't as trusting with medications and things that you want to give them. And people are actually going out and seeking the natural cures and natural remedies.
Yeah, well, I mean,
failing them.
Yeah, so we talk about it a bunch of times, like whether it's shilajit or it's like mushrooms, or like every year we harvest yarrow, which is a coagulant. It grows everywhere on the property around me. So we harvest yarrow. It's an antiseptic and it's a coagulant. So
okay.
So
stop the bleeding.
We just mix that in a tincture, and that we use that instead of Neosporin, because your body is so, like, if you put Neosporin on your body, it actually attracts staph infection now, because their staph infection has learned to, and it's adapted to attack that.
To Neosporin, yeah.
Yeah. So we try not to use that stuff. We do simmer pots to cleanse energies around here, and it works like all the time. It's fucking crazy. Like, you got a fucking bad day, you just, like, I have a fucking recipe and I'll send it to you, but you should try it. I want your feedback. But like, I don't know if it's a fucking placebo effect or not, but like it's like what the olden days people did that was tried and true, that cleans the energy in the area. And then, like, we have other things that we're doing now, like we're microdosing. We're going to be like, we got the fucking kit for the psilocybin, so we can microdose. Plus, also, I want to talk to Odin, so I'm going to fucking, like, really do a trip.
That checks out.
Yeah. So, like, I'm like, hey, man, like, we're starting to do these things, and you start to, it's crazy because, like, you actually start to see all of these things. Like, I did that parasite cleanse. I'm about to do another one. And when I did the parasite cleanse, all of a sudden, like, all of the things that were inside of me that were ailing me, except for the fucking weird sinusitis bullshit that I got, they all went away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I stopped fucking having, like, sleep apnea, which is weird because I don't think I should, because I'm not, like, overweight or anything. But, like, I stopped having sleep apnea for like 8 weeks. when I was drinking black walnut goo.
Yeah.
Gross. It was so gross.
Yeah, Justine even came up with one. No, she didn't come up with it, but she started making one for not sinus infection, but colds, like a cold remedy.
Yeah.
And you just basically take a shot glass, fill it up, and shoot that every once in a while, and it starts cleaning your sinuses out and starts making you feel better. And it's got like peppers and all kinds of peppers and apple cider vinegar, all kinds of stuff in it. You actually do feel better. And she was making fun of me one time because I was like, let me see your little concoction here. Let's try this out. And just shot it. And she's like, really? She's like, it tastes horrible. I was like, I drink whiskey for fun. I was like, this is fine. Like, I drink whiskey and shoot tequila. Like, we're good. Give me more. Fill it up again. But just those little home remedies people are starting to go back to. I wouldn't even say regress to, but they're just going back to it and trying to figure out different home remedies to fix stuff. And
it's weird because like you look back at the progression of medical technology, right? So there's pieces of medical technology that have really helped out humanity, and there's other pieces of medical technology because they're run by big pharma who doesn't want to cure you. They just want to prolong your life. And so like you have these fucking moments where these quote unquote zombies are, if you're extending a zombie's life.
It's not a good quality of life.
No, none. Exactly. And so next thing you know, like the majority of the things that we're eating now, they're so indoctrinated with all this other shit. Like in reality, I guess this isn't really paranormal corner. It's like paranormally conspiracized corner. I don't know. Fix that. That's not a me thing. That's a you thing, boat. Yeah. So like it's really maybe we were all zombies, and the pandemic was designed to like entrench us into being more zombies and being more in sheepskins. But now a lot of us have woken up. I feel like we woke up from the Matrix. I feel like for me, like people are like, "Hey man, you need to take a pill. There's a pill that will solve that." I'm like, I don't fucking need a pill. I don't want your pill. I don't want to be dependent on that pill.
And that's the thing, is it like creates dependency.
Yeah, that's how they make their money, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I love making good money. Don't get me wrong. It fucking makes, like, money helps. It's like fucking shoes. You can run without shoes. It's not comfortable. But shoes make it easier to run. Not that I fucking run, but definitely makes it easier.
In a zombie apocalypse, you might have to.
Depending on what type of zombies we get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like we're in a state, like Vika bought a book that's all about home remedies, and there's like an entire section on parasites. And by the way, most of the concoctions in that sound fucking horrid.
It's not supposed to taste good.
No, I know it's not, but it's just like ugh. Like the last time I had the Rona. The way that I got my smell back the same day, my sense of smell and taste back the same day, we fucking mixed it was apple cider vinegar, honey, and onions. And you take a shot of it, and then you steep that concoction as well into like a broth, and you let it like get it to a rolling boil. And you drape a towel over your head, and you just fucking sit there and go, and then you fucking hack up everything that you've ever known in life. Like you were 4 years old and you inhaled a fucking a piece of ash at a campfire. That bitch is coming out.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah,
the type of shit that obviously we knew way before.
Yeah, like if you this is a weird one. This is super weird. So like if you have like a cold, or if like you got stuffy like sinus infection, you take the potato and you cut it in like thin slices, and you put it on, you put it on your
socks
and your socks, and then you wake up in the morning. So you do that, and then you put like honey and onions underneath your nose. Like you let honey turn it, like basically pseudo ferment with onions. You put it below your nose and on your chest, like Vicks Vapor Rub, and you wake up in the morning and you're fucking fine.
It's crazy.
I'm like, wow, all right.
Could do this. Yeah.
It's super fucking gross though, but yeah, it's like worth it.
Fuck it.
It's better than fucking being addicted to a pill, being a fucking zombie and fucking chasing down the next pill.
Yeah.
The question that I have for everybody, and maybe for you, like directly, since you're on the cast here, what do you think is worse, being a zombie, a true zombie where you eat flesh and you're just kind of wandering around mindlessly, or being a human and being addicted to the pills that they prescribe you because they're synthetic?
Well, I
to
mean,
me,
you're done in a zombie apocalypse anyway, right? If you have all these pills and you're reliant on them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say not being a zombie.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some cases out there where the medical treatment's necessary. But I'm wondering now a whole lot where if those natural remedies aren't going to fix what ails you anyway, if you just found the right one. And I think if this was 100 years ago, most of the shit wouldn't be here anyway. So you wouldn't have any dependency on pills or anything. And I don't know whether it's just because, the disease would have weeded you out, but it seems like that's not the case. It seems like you just never would have got the disease.
Well, I mean, like, okay, so everybody will make a counter argument to what I'm about to say, and that's fine. But I want to open up the conversation for people to have a real conversation about it. Like, cancer has been around for about 100 years. When cancer came around, we had the first preservatives added to our food.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these 200 years. Like, I mean,
in a lot of cases, the same people that are producing the food also produce the medication.
Yeah, dude. There's that dude on social media, I can't remember, and he draws the line between there's 5 organizations that run the world, like BlackRock and
all Vanguard and all that shit.
Vanguard, yeah. And he's like, they're making your food, or you go to the store to buy your hair products to clean your hair, your shampoo, and it's all Johnson and Johnson, and then Johnson and Johnson's owned by Vanguard, and Vanguard's owned by fucking the Rothschilds, and they're they have no reason for you to not. And in my mind, I honestly think the Rothschilds are all fucking vampires anyways.
They've lived forever.
Yeah.
I think
it's fucking weird.
With that even being said, as far as the hair care products that I use and everything else, even soaps, I honestly have sought out veteran-owned companies and that are totally natural and have bought into that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same page, dude.
Same with deodorants and shit like that.
I actually, yeah, dude. I have been aluminum free, or if you're listening in the UK, aluminium. It's called aluminum. Fucking get out of here with shit.
Douchebags.
Fucking hey, UT still sucks. Nope. Fuck you. America
Joke's on us. We're still paying way too many taxes.
Fuck, for real. But I've been all of those things free for, I don't know, 12 years. And I'm not trying to be fucking granola or anything, but there is something to that. I'm actually going to be buying a grounding blanket. Have you ever heard of those?
Oh, I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to buy one and tell you how I feel, but my buddy bought one. He plugged it in. He had arthritis so bad he couldn't open his hands all the way. After 3 nights of sleeping underneath of it, he was arthritis free.
They have the sheets too.
That's what I'm talking about. The sheets. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, dude. What what does it hurt to try? Like
Yeah.
an
You might
organic
be out $80.
Yeah.
Or something
And
like that, you know.
even if you fucking mind fuck yourself with a placebo and you're happier,
Fuck it.
mind fuck yourself away.
Yeah.
It's not like
enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Just do that masturbation technique that you have that works great. Just if that is what it is you're fucking yourself, it's fine. On the good side of things, right?
On the
Like
good
just
side.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I actually dislocated my pointer finger today when I was coming home. The fucking wind was at like 80 miles an hour, like 60 mile an hour straight, 80 mile an hour gusts. And the hammock downstairs was like trying to fucking whack the window, and I caught it and it fucking whipped out of my hand and like literally dislocated my finger. I had to pop it back in today. Fucking hand hurt.
That's fun.
Fuck off, dude.
I thought there was no wind in Montana, dude.
There is no wind in Montana. There's there's fucking tornadoes and hurricanes, bro.
No shit.
But yeah, dude. I mean, I guess we started off with zombies, but like, I think the world is a zombie.
We digress to
Conspiracy.
A real world adaptation of a zombie that's not eating flesh.
I mean, maybe we are. What if like, if you really think about it, right? You look at the current state of the world, and we are really eating ourselves. Like, we could totally be in this realm of we're killing ourselves, and in doing so, we're eating ourselves from the inside out because of the shit we put in our
ourselves
bodies
to death. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we're all
there's
guilty
also
of
that
a fast, quick snack, right? Or a fast, quick meal at a fast food restaurant, or McDonald's or something like that. We're all guilty of that.
I need a microwave, actually, I want a toaster.
Well, even a microwave is even worse.
Well, I mean, at the meadery, I've been I'm down there for like 14 hours a day, and I'm sitting here like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna have a fucking conniption fit. You can't just drink your calories every day.
Well, and even the like the meal prep containers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was doing, I forget what that company is called, where it's just meal preps. I don't remember. But anyway, those meal prep containers, when you put them in the microwave, are just out to murder you. Even the ones that you buy at the store are trying to murder you. Like, it's bad, especially when you throw those fuckers in the microwave. Like, you're better off just like dumping whatever's in the fucking container into a pan and just heating it up that way.
Yeah. And if you don't have a cast iron, you're probably still fucked because of all the contaminants. Like, did you know the average life of a Teflon-based pan is only 7 months?
I don't even have any Teflon anymore.
I don't.
I got rid of all of it. It's all stainless and cast iron.
I have just cast iron now. I mean, that's all I cook in. And the Teflon pans are like the cool no stick or whatever, fine, whatever. But there's like so many researches or so many things to research from different points of view.
Like forever chemicals and all kinds of shit in those.
Yeah, like you're putting so many things in your body, or so many toxins. One of our longtime followers, Amber, over in California, Amber Luke's, she has a journey that she's excited about. She's about to start her own podcast and such, but she does the grounding journey where she will go for an entire hike in her bare feet.
Oh,
and
God.
She said, yeah, well, two things. Ballsy. I have little girl feet.
Yeah, I'm like a 7-year-old girl with my shoes off.
Yeah. But she talks about the journey of it and how much it's changed. So there's this like thought process out there, and I can't remember who spoke about it, but basically like wind and things that brush past you take away all of your energy that your body has, all of the things that are there that's stored. And we used to be able to get it back by being grounded to the earth. So basically, you would recoup from the earth. The wind would take it away.
Yeah.
The reason why you feel happy when your dogs are laying on you and whatnot,
because they've been out and
they bring it, right, and they bring it back. and they lay on the ground, and they live great lives, and they're happy all the time because they have the energy to be happy.
The
in
transfer.
essence. Yeah. And so when they lay on you, you feel happy. You feel that because that's the transfer of the energy because they got it from the earth. And that's why I want to do the grounding blanket. And part of her journey is if you're out walking around for 3 hours and you don't have a rubber sole to take away from that, you're there. And I'm like, do I really need to go stand out in my yard for like an hour and like just stand in the dirt? Because I'm in if I got to. I don't care.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes a difference because I've never seen anybody fucking unhappy that's been hanging out on a beach.
Or if you're just laying on the grass in your yard with your kids. Like how many times when you were a kid you were just fucking you'd lay on the grass and just fucking hang out. You were fucking go. Like I have all of the energy.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's definitely a thing after you go cut your grass to just kind of walk around barefoot for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have grass, but yeah.
Well, I know, but I got a nice patch.
With landmines.
Nah, pick those up, man. Got to pick those up before you mow the grass.
Solid.
But yeah, no, I definitely think that's a real thing. Especially, we talk about all that, electromagnetic energy and everything and how people are energy based. Not, and everybody's science tells you that you're carbon based and everything like that. And yeah, that might be part of our makeup, but I definitely think that we're energy based or, electricity based.
It goes back to some of the things that we've posed as potential theories. Like you can't prove gravity exists. You can't, but you can prove that energy exists and that we're the opposite of the Earth. So it would make sense that we're attracted to the Earth. We're pulled to the Earth by that.
Yeah, that we're magnetized to it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Magneto was right too.
Maybe the whole comic book was trying to tell us something.
I mean, Stanley was fucking a saint. Like I can't close my hand, by the way. This is like the
dude. What are you pointing at? That sucks. I've been there. Not with a hammock, but I've definitely been there.
Dude, it fucking I grabbed it and it just fucking caught it. Like I grabbed the end that was trying to snap to the window and the other end popped off and went whack and pulled out, like caught air.
The speed of sound.
I was like
a whip.
I was like, yeah, like a cool whip.
Whip.
A whip.
It whipped your finger out.
Yes. Yeah. So there's that. Well, I think we didn't really talk about really anything paranormal because like zombies are real. You all are zombies if you're not part of the tribe. Sorry, is what it is.
Fucking zombies.
Fucking zombies.
Buy some mead. Get unzombified.
Just do a meetup. And then, do a meetup.
Take other people's energy while you're giving your own.
Yeah. But don't be like Rogue since we're talking about X-Men. Don't just fucking suck the life out of them.
Yeah, don't suck the life out of the party. And yeah, in our drunk corral, it's all outside.
Mm-hmm.
There's rocks. Oh. There's wood to touch. There's trees. There's grass.
Mm-hmm. Don't show up naked. You can if you aren't, but don't show up barefooted because I'm not good in my cowboy boots on gravel. That shit sucked. Walking on gravel all day long fucked up my body.
It's better than walking barefoot on gravel.
Maybe. No, 100%. You're right.
I would cry. I would cry. I've had to run outside before barefoot. And this gravel in my yard, and I didn't recover for like 3 days.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Baby feet.
I have fucking baby flat feet, so I feel everything. Like the Marine Corps packs and the Army packs, they completely Arches. That's a place in fucking in Utah, right? There's not arches on your feet, right?
There's definitely some arches here. No, I definitely have the arch, but fuck that, dude. That shit hurts. Yeah. Even when we go to like Flaming Gorge, it takes me at least half a day to be okay with walking around in sand. That shit hurts. It's hot.
So the trick on that, by the way, for anybody's listening, is you don't walk on the top. You dig your feet in as you go. So you're underneath of it. You know that, right?
Like with every step.
Yeah, dude.
Whatever, crab legs. I don't even want to hear any fucking secrets from you.
No, I
Beach
walked
secrets.
fine. I had fine on the beach. It was on your boat that I don't know the fucking. Now I know I gotta put sunscreen on up to my nutsack.
With no
every
parabens.
3 hours.
With no
every
parabens.
3 hours. Yeah.
You just gotta go on the sun, bro.
I'm in the sun all the fucking time. If
With,
you don't remember,
with your thighs. You
gotta
get the thighs out there, dude.
Well, I mean, it is definitely a thing now.
Thigh of a tiger.
We up yonder, up north, us northern folk, we don't get into shorts until like July.
Yeah.
Because it might fucking snow. Although you did snow at your place, it didn't snow at mine.
Yeah, they were doing chain up messages on the reader boards over the highway, telling people to chain up before going up Parleys for 18-wheelers.
Oh.
That's how intense it got. People were snowboarding fresh pow at Brighton.
In May.
It's
going to be May.
May.
All right, guys. We got to wrap up. I got to get to bed. I have a newsletter article to write in the morning and a whole bunch of awesome orders you guys have sent out. So I want to do a couple shout outs. I'm going to let you go first on the shout outs. This is you first. You've been running
shout outs. No.
Shout outs for the people.
Oh, shout outs. Okay.
Party people actuals.
Definitely a shout out to the whole crew. I'm not going to list you guys all because y'all know who you are. And if you're part of the Bearded Viking, Viking actual,
mm-hmm.
and you worked your ass off at the meadery, huge shout out to you, whether you had to be there, whether you didn't. Big ups to you guys. The whole journey, we couldn't have done it without you. And I've never seen a group of more dedicated people that are willing to work their asses off just to help the dream come true. So that's a big shout out.
Is it still a dreamery or is it a real meadery now?
Well, it's definitely real, but we better keep dreaming because without dreaming, we're not going to have any more goals.
Who are you? Somebody come fucking check his temperature.
If we stop here, we're not going to take over the world.
That's fair. I love it, man. Great shout out. I'm gonna do some shout outs to the people who made this fucking possible outside of us and the crew. So I'm gonna do a shout out to Donnie Morton over at Bulletproof Insulation. If you guys are in the Billings, Montana, all the way over to basically anywhere, a motherfucker will drive to you. He has got the heart of gold and will take care of you and make sure it's done right the first time and the only time.
Stud.
Fucking
Absolute
awesome.
Fucking stud.
I want to shout out to Isaac over at Heart 7 Excavation. The fucking things that they did for our yard and the fucking men that they are. Y'all need to fucking hit them up. If you are in Stillwater or Yellowstone County up here in Montana, fucking hit them up. Do it, please, God.
Big Same time thing, studs there too.
Yeah. Big shout out to Pete Loafing over at Loafing Electric. Without you guys, we wouldn't have lights. It'd be really fucking hard to work.
We don't have windows, so we needed lights.
Yep. Mason over at Good and Tight Plumbing. We really appreciate you. You were able to fucking do things for us that were dumb and fucking awesome at the same time for fucking state inspection reasons or whatever it was.
Dude, if you need tight pipes, go with Good and Tight.
Yep, absolutely. Patriot Mechanical up here for fucking putting our well in and getting that all squared away. And I can't remember John's name for the fucking septic system, but John Rasmussen and his septic system company up here. You guys put in the best shit pipes we've ever seen.
Great shit pipes.
Fucking great shit pipes. But without you guys, without those guys, we wouldn't have a meadery. And finally, a huge shout out to Sunshine Apiary up here. Locally owned, operated, thousands of pounds of wildflower honey that is just one of a kind. And the ability you guys have to make sure that we have the honey that brings the sweetness to your lips.
Dude, we wouldn't taste as good without Sunshine.
Fucking facts, bro. Facts. So to everybody out there who showed up, whether you're an irreverent warrior, like fucking Marty or Bob or Brian or any of those guys, or if you were one of the fucking hooligans that drove up, like Somsock or Alan Belcher or any of those guys that came all the way up to see this, I love the shit out of you. We love the shit out of you. Thanks for being part of episode 50. You didn't know you were, neither did we, but here we are. With that being said, I have one last toast to do. Because I ran out of hooch. I got some. Enough. All right. With that being said, guys, I'm Vico.
I'm the Jarl. Stay weird, weirdos.
And for the first time ever, it's legal. Drink some mead. Cheers, motherfuckers.
You know what you're doing.
It tastes delicious. I prefer the mead.
You played this game before. Your mind was made up. Once you walk